24 is the number of players who will pick up their controller and take a seat under the lights here in West London, hoping to play the best EAFC of their careers. Because if the players competing today do that twice this weekend, well, they book themselves the golden ticket, a spot in the eChampions League finals.
Done and dusted. Headline News text is out. I think that's a 13-minute comeback. It's a cruel ending.
The giant killer, Levy Finn.
Oh, just less drama, please. My heart can't take any longer.
Finds the back of the net.
FC players, we are like this. I just playing for my life.
Fummer, this is the eChampions League.
eChampions League, there's no favourites really.
Oh, PH in.
I love this atmosphere, I love to feel this tension.
Game, set and match.
It's going to be entertaining, it's going to be goal.
Oh, he's got in!
This year I want to put things right.
He goal lead again, Sure.
Any player for me is the same. I want to win the tournament, I want the revenge.
I know I can beat everyone, but job is not done yet.
I have to play at my best, because if not, I will lose.
But that's brilliant composure from Levy Devine.
Yeah, I want to play everyone. For me, it's time to take revenge.
It's on Marley from absolutely nowhere.
Well, welcome then to the knockouts, where once again we have upped the ante, not just in terms of what's at stake for our players, but in terms of our guests as well. Brandon Smith is back alongside pro player Tom Lees. Welcome, both of you. Welcome back, Brandon. Last week, I'm still kind of lost for words, aren't you?
Yeah, it's gone quick, hasn't it? We're back already for the knockout stages. Where do we start? I mean, headline news, text not making it through, and more importantly, former Champions League champion Nicholas falling out in the group stages. No one would have expected that.
Tom, welcome though. You've got to start by talking about your mate Tex. Have you spoken to him? You know, how disappointed, obviously, we know he was he after that?
You know me, I'm one of Tex's biggest fans, so I was gutted for him. I spoke to him, yeah, he's obviously devastated because he's one of the favourites to win the tournament and to go out in the group stage. I don't think many people were expecting that, but you know, him not being here gives someone else a chance to win it.
Yeah, and obviously there are loads of great players, but let's just talk about the pressure, Tom, that these players are here. You can see them entering the arena a couple of hours ago. It's been back-to-back weekends of the highest pressure in the game, right?
Yeah, it's stressful to play under, I think. You come off such a high of last week, roller coaster of emotions, and then you only get a couple of days to get yourself together and get ready again, and then you're straight back to it. So it's intense for the players, but there's a reason these guys are the best.
That's my question for you, Tom. I mean, you've been in this eChampions League before. These players, realistically, for ones that live outside of the UK, you're travelling back on the Monday. Tuesday, you might put your feet up and relax. Wednesday, do you go back on the console and play a few practice games? And then before you know it, you're back in London again. There's no real chance to have a breather, is there?
Yeah, it happens quickly, and I think you can't really replicate the pressure of playing at this event. You can go back and play at home, but I'd imagine a lot of them have been watching their opponents. Now they know what their bracket looks like, they know their route to the final. Probably spent a lot of time watching, and just when they get here on the Friday, they would have played a lot of games then, just get themselves ready, and yeah, get ready to play under these lights.
Yeah, exactly. I can feel the nerves all around us already, because it is another intense day of competition for our players, and one mistake this time will see them pack their bags. Here's Ryan with the lowdown.
All right, people, buckle up because we're diving into the eChampions League knockout stage. Knockouts is where the bracket comes into play. Remember, the round of 32 features the second and third place finishers from the group stage. The top seeds, they've already booked their spot into the round of 16. It's all or nothing in this single elimination format, with 24 players going head-to-head before facing off against the top seed in the round of 16. Win that, and you're on the fast track to the grand final. Lose that, and you're going home. The final 8 will have to prove themselves in 2 sets of quarterfinals in order to progress to the semi-finals. Winning is the only option to keep the dream alive.
Winning is the only option, like Ryan said. Tom, let's look, though, at these fixtures. What kind of stands out for you?
I think the big game for me, I mean, they're all unbelievable, but I think that the Umut match there against Egman, because if he wins that, you're going to see a clash of 2 world champions with Manu Bashore and Umut. So Any tournament Umut plays in, he's one of the favourites. I think it's the same here, and yeah, I'm excited to watch that one a little bit later.
Yeah, Manny Bashir, he didn't like that, did he? The fact that he thought he may possibly play Umut in the round of 16. Brandon, though, looking at that, which one jumps out at you?
I think our first round of the day, Rachel, to be honest, that Kurt Adalo-Hezar's game. Two players that were in Istanbul last year at the eChampions League final. Of course, Hezar's coming so close to lifting the eChampions League. For me, all my eyes are going to be on that one.
Really? I thought you might have said old Mark Marley in the Seagulls, a Brighton fan over here, because drama for him last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, as a Brighton fan, it was a tough watch until the full-time whistle was blown. What was it, a 7-goal swing in the group stages? I mean, Nacho Bayer was where you were, Tom, and he was full of confidence after 2 rounds, wasn't he, Rachel, saying bye-bye to the rest of the competition? But then this happened. Mark Marley was full of goals. What is more crazy is that Mark only scored 9 goals in the whole group stage. 6 came in 1 game.
It was crazy. I remember Case was here as well. I said, can he do it? She went, I'm not throwing you under the bus, Case, if you're watching. Hello. And she went, no, he can't do it. And then we saw what happened. Question, though, for you, Tom, was the fact that Nacho had no idea when he was sitting there. He didn't know what he needed. He was so confused. He ran off, didn't he, after that matchup. Where does kind of, you know, the buck stop at there? Who should have known that, coach or Nacho himself?
I think it's a team effort, but you're probably looking at your coach, because if the game's been paused in the 65th or 75th minute, there always is a pause in these games, no matter what happens. So I feel like your coach should tell you then. I think it's probably something they've spoken about, to not know that in the 90th minute. I think that's why the mistake happens as well, because he's probably thinking, feet up, I've qualified, don't need to stress. Realised when Marley and his coach are celebrating the way they were, that he's actually out. So I think the player will take some responsibility, and the coach probably 50-50. I mean, yeah, I would hope that my coach would tell me in that situation.
Yeah, it's down to the finest margins, isn't it, at this top level, of course. Well, let's talk about another player now. This one is Fummer. Ryan Pessoa thinks he might go all the way and win the entire thing. What do you think after a bit of a shaky start last time, Brandon?
You'd agree with Ryan after the first 2 group games, wouldn't you? Because he was flying. He had 2 wins from 2, and then this happened. He ran into Manny Bashir, who was on fine form. He was 3-0 down in 32 minutes. He came back to make it 3-3, and then unfortunately, after this goal goes in just a second from Fummer, Manny Bashir ran away with the game, and he needed to sort of look around the rest of the group stages and pray that other people drop points. He did just about go through, but I understand why Ryan has been hyping him up. He's a 4-time French League champion, and Tom, speak about the current meta at the moment, the aerial plus, the corners being deadly. There's Fummer on social media saying, me after conceding 4 corners in the same match. He's laughing, but inside I'm sure he's crying. Yeah, as you asked me earlier about what they're going to do when they go home, he will be practicing his corners, I think, defending them and scoring from them. I think you learn your lessons quickly, and Fummer will know now that the corners play a massive part in this, and I think we'll see a lot more of them today. I'm expecting Fummer to score a few as well. Now that he knows about it, now he's been on the receiving end, hopefully he'll be scoring a few.
Well, mistakes are going to get penalised, aren't they, today, that's for sure. Well, we've heard from you two. Thank you very much for your thoughts. Now let's go and hear the thoughts of Richard and Grav. Boys, what have you got for us?
Thank you very much, Rachel, Brandon, and great job to Tom as well. You're a natural, my friend. Before we break down everything on the analysis board throughout the next couple of hours, we're going to bring you the draft requirements for the eChampions League, because they are very special, Grav, because it's different from what we've had previously in the Pro Open.
Yeah, because as you can see here in the screen, you have the budget, which is 50 million. I don't think it's going to be used because the icons are not that expensive. And talking about icons, you have 3 maximum icons. I don't know if we're going to see Xavi, Pirlo, we're going to see Drogba for sure. But for example, Marley changed from Xavi to Pirlo in this weekend, so it really depends. I think we're going to see some changes.
I think we're going to see an upturn in Pirlo, maybe Xavi Alonso and Xavi coming down the pecking order. One player who's going to be in every team, you would imagine, is Nicolas Soulé, the Champions League item variant of him. He's a road to the final item if you want to get him at home. About 200k, he's a bit of a bargain because these are his stats that he possesses. Good pace, but you're looking here, he is unbelievable in the defensive and physical attributes.
For sure. I mean, in my opinion, it's got to be the defensive awareness, 91, and also the strength, 99, probably battling with Didier Drogba, with Mbappe. I think he's going to win those physical battles. And then the passing, short pass 90, long pass 91. I think when he has the ball, you have a great chance of switching up the play.
And you talk about that passing because he's got a silver pinged pass play style as well. Defensively, he's pretty sound. He just got that brand new Anticipate Plus play style in the recent update to this item. He's got Slow Attacker Plus, he's had that for a little while, and also the silver aerial as well, so he can compete in the air. He's a dominant force at the back. We've collected a couple of clips to show you what he can do at the back. And look, with Anticipate Plus now as well, being in that skill set, you've got to think that he's going to be even stronger in these sort of areas.
Yeah, the thing is, in those clips, they're switching and then pressing the tackle. I do think now with the Anticipate Plus, they're not going to maybe tackle as much because it's going to be automatic because of the play style. But in this, as you can see, he's just too strong, and with the Anticipate Plus, I think he's going to be even stronger. So, in my opinion, we're going to see it in every single team.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what Sule can do at the back. We're about to get our first game underway. I'm feeling a little bit peckish. I want a little bite to eat. I can't lie, Gravison. I've been working hard. It's hard analysing stuff.
It is hard. It is hard as well, especially when you're smelling something. It was the paella last week, but thank you so much, my friend, because
what's this
week? You know I am a sweet guy.
Yes.
And you know I've been playing the Portuguese league.
Okay.
For the Sporting de Lisbon, and this time, I mean, we had to go with pastel de nata. So thank you so much, and I'll enjoy my pastel de nata in a second.
I'm going to have a bite to that as well. I've never eaten it. While we took into that, here's Ryan Pessoa catching up with Marley.
Thank you, Richard and Gravison. As you said, I'm joined by Marley. Talk of the town, that last-minute comeback last weekend. You saw that your culture celebrating drastically behind you. You were pretty mellow. Did you not know that you went through? What was your thought process?
No, I did know before it that we had to win by 4 goals. I was just maybe concerned that we were level and he would have went through on goals scored. But yeah, I was constantly asking, is it just one more I need? So yeah, I knew pretty much I was through.
Somebody that didn't know, supposedly, rumours are circulating, Nacho Abella said that he thought he needed to lose by 7 and not by 4. Do you think he's telling the truth, or is it just a bit of maybe a lack of preparation from himself and the coach?
We did get a little bit of a vibe that maybe he didn't know when I went 3 goals up. He got to go back and didn't really celebrate much, and he was loud all day. We held him all day. So yeah, if you didn't know, then that's on him.
Yeah, of course. I don't want to hold you too long. I wish you the best of luck in your game against Taxa, and let's head back to Rachel at the desk.
Thanks so much, Ryan. Yeah, Marley there, cool as a cucumber. But as we found out last week, we'll write him off at your peril. Well, he's up first as part of 2 great opening matchups.
Decent items, it's dropped on the exit, times it green, Taxa.
It's been a fantastic performance from Taxa.
Marley back in front.
Hezar's is through to the knockouts. The Italian does it again.
Well, it was only 6 days ago that we were here in London for the eChampions League group stages. 41 clubs and players took to the stage. Only 24 are here now. Somebody wasn't here last week who's with us this weekend, Tom Lees. I mean, you saw it from the sidelines last week. You saw that ending last week of Marley. I mean, we couldn't quite believe it either.
Yeah, the crazy way to end the first round, right? The way he did that at the end, and sets it up nicely for today, sets it up very nicely.
We're coming into a big game, Grav. 2 players that haven't played before, coming into a match where they win it. They're in around a 16 game tomorrow against PH.
It's a weird situation because obviously you analyze your opponent, and for example, as Marley having Adam Ryan besides him, you watch the games. Probably that's more of a coach part, especially during the week, because as a player you gotta rest. But it's really an interesting situation because now you have the chance to kind of see what the way your opponent plays, and now you don't really know if it's going to work or not. But I don't know if you agree, Tom. You definitely have a game plan.
Yeah, you have a game plan from the get-go, really. You'll have a lot of research from last week. You'll know exactly what your player's up to. The only thing is, if someone throws a curveball this week, you might play a bit differently. If you weren't happy with how you got through last week, then it could be different, but we're about to find out.
Well, the first game underway here in the Champions League. Taxa against Marley. FC Lorient up against Brighton Hove Albion in our first matchup. Win this, you come back tomorrow to play against PHZ of Ajax, who has also been in fine form alongside everyone, it seems, from the Eredivisie, which was the Mystery Nation of last weekend. There is another Mystery Nation this weekend. Get your guesses in the Twitch chat. We'll be looking at them and discussing them as they come through live. As it looks like Marley will have his first real chance in the game. I was speaking to him on the build-up to this one in terms of any team changes that he may have had. It'll be interesting to get your thoughts on this one. Tom, Xavi out, Pirlo comes in.
Yeah, I'm interested in that. I can't quite figure it because Xavi's got the same similar play styles to Pirlo in terms of being the one that will receive the ball and play the long passes really well. So interested to see. Maybe Mark wasn't happy with the way he played. You know, he turned up in the last game, but the games before, and I feel like sometimes you don't play well, you do end up changing your team a little bit.
It was the case of speaking to a few players as well, Gravison, that were changed out 1 or 2 players. Here's Didier Drogba, who will not be swapped out of anybody's teams, we can assure you of that, because he has been the main man here in the Champions League. And it's Marley that takes the first blood in this one. Well, sitting on the replay, 6 minutes in, Gravison, he did so well.
It's probably
It's
probably the hardest defense. When the ball gets to the midfield, it goes with a direct first touch, driven pass, and there's not much you can do. I think it went for Montaxa. It went wrong when you're attacking on the wing and you're not offside trapping. Then you find yourself in a tough situation because the pass, you won't be able to stop it.
Yeah, when the overlapping fullback, when it hits the right back or the left back and you don't get your team up and you don't play a switch very well, it will open up very, very quickly. That's exactly what happened. I think maybe a few game nerves at the start, sorry?
Yeah, probably. But as we can see, Keturdilo scored the first goal with Olympique de Lyon, scoring against Hezar. Dilo, I mean, a player you really love, Tom.
Yeah, I like Dilo. He's so skillful in the box, you know, so many times in practice where I've had to drop the controller and just say, wow. I remember meshing him once when we were playing, saying, there's no way you've just done that to me in practice. He's so good in and around the box. I think you speak to any pro, he's one of the very best there.
I don't think I've ever seen Dilo celebrate either.
No, never.
He doesn't give too much off, does he, in terms of emotions. He actually put out quite a funny post on social media. He was actually standing behind Nacho Abaya in the Marley game, and he couldn't work out why Adam Ryan, the coach of Brighton of Albion, was going so crazy in the game. There's a few funny images of him just turning around and sort of staring, going, what does this mean? He also, of course, did not know that was Brighton of Albion going through. Dilo looking to go back to another Champions League final. It was Istanbul for both of these 2 players last year. Mbappe is stopped in his tracks by Donnarumma, who gets pretty fortunate there to get 2 hands back on the ball.
It's really interesting to see the way Dilo is so creative. I mean, the build-up is usually patient and he doesn't rush things up, but when he gets inside the box, that's where the skills comes in. For example, Tom, do you remember what he explained to you when he messaged you?
Yeah, he told me about the shot cancel a few years ago. He got Drogba in there.
Oh, what a miss.
How have you missed Didier Drogba? Just quickly before we continue, that mystery league coming in, is it the Dutch league? Where were you last weekend?
Come on, that was last weekend.
Donaldinho, where were you last weekend? That was last weekend, the Eredivisie. That is not this week's. But another one coming, is it the French league? I know we're showing you quite a few French clubs at the moment. It's not the French league.
It is not. It is not. Hellas Liga, no. I mean, they're trying, they're really trying, but it's not those. It's not those.
Hellas Liga.
Hellas Liga. I think that's the Greek one, right? Yeah.
I think so.
I mean, we're maybe throwing a long shot, but I guess we'll see. Egyptian Premier League, nope. Czech League, nope. I mean, they're trying. They're trying really hard. But
keep naming everyone, you'll get there in the end.
I mean,
we're here for 2 days, guys. Well, we've got a long way still to go. Keep those guesses coming in, of course, from the chat. Let us know as well at home, who are you supporting? There's 24 players left in the competition here at the Champions League. What club or what player are you supporting? Because there are so many football clubs from all around Europe still being represented here in London. Remember, only 8 from this weekend will be back on the 29th of May to compete in this year's eChampions League final. Dilo at the moment is seemingly having a lot of the possession. 28 metres away from goal. We expect this just to be lofted into the box. You can see Didier Drogba just being manually controlled. It's lofted into Didier Drogba's head, who looks for the cut down, and if it wasn't for Donnarumma, it could have been a second goal, Tom.
Yeah, I think Dilo's so hard to defend, because as you said, he's so patient, and then it's hard anyway to deal with that. And then when he gets to the box, he's so creative. It's strange, because sometimes you don't expect it from a player that'll hold the ball. You expect him to be a bit more rigid in the way they build up, but Dilo is so creative. And going back to what you said earlier, Grav, it was the 21 with the shot cancel. Then that's what he taught me then, and he taught me it without realising, and I started using it against him in tournaments. So always picking stuff up. But Dilo, definitely really good player to practice against, just because of how creative he is, and he always finds the next thing that works. He's one of them people, and I'm normally someone that needs to see it from other people first, then copy it, try and get better at it.
And he's a good guy, because I'm not sure if I'm telling you. If I find something like that, the shot cancellation which works, I'm not telling you as a competitor.
I did that, yeah.
Well, back to our featured matchup now. It is Brighton of Albion's Marley that leads by a goal to 0 in this game. It's Didier Drogba after just 6 minutes. There was a small pause in the game, hence why it hasn't moved that much further forward. But for Taxa, he's dealing with a handful of Brighton of Albion shirts running out. A couple of player locks there, just tease from Marley. Tony Cruz still, who I believe does hold the highest rating for a road to the knockout promo item. Of course, Real Madrid going one step further into the finals there.
I'm curious to know, Tom, when you played in the Premier League, practicing against them, how do you stop the player lock coming in from the Brighton guys?
Oh, I don't think anyone's got the answer yet because of the way they played. I personally think you've got to put pressure on the ball because it is impossible to mark. Because when they play a lock, they'll do it to two different players, so you can't really mark both. You need to go out to the ball quick enough. That's always my way of trying to stop, but there's a reason they use it.
Taxa, Pedri finds Luca Modric, who can't find a way through this time. Taxa hasn't made a great deal of changes to his team coming in this week. Of course, remember, it's still a 50 million coin budget with 3 icons allowed, UCL heroes and players. There's a player lock, finds Drogba. Well done there from João Cancelo. The only change he has made, Taxa, was Luca Modric coming in for Jude Bellingham. Slight midfield change.
It's interesting. I mean, he wants offense for sure, but he has to defend this one 3v3. It's
so much space it feels on these counter-attacks as Marley comes forward again. Step over exit was nice from Mbappe. A couple of ball rolls just to pull away Vincent Kompany. See, the second man press there was aggressive. Back to Drogba for 2! And he's Brighton of Albion. The lead by 2 goals to nil with the first 30 minutes.
It's the same goal.
Yeah.
Same build-up, same answer. Yeah, Marley's finding joy. Coming in from that right, he moves it each time. There's 2 passes in the middle, and then you have 2 or 3 options, and Marley's choosing the right one every time.
Yeah, if we have time now in the half-time, it would be great to see this goal, because I don't know if you noticed it, Tom. Kompany got pulled out of position. So basically, when Mbappe went through, he pulled out Kompany to try to cover the run, and now everything is messed because the fullback is in the centre-back position, the centre-back is a fullback, and then when everything switches, you're kind of doomed because you cannot control so many fullbacks.
Taxa needs to be careful before where the game plan he had falls apart. Quite interesting for Taxa. We had Obron sitting behind him last week in London. I was speaking to him today earlier on. I said, where is Obron? He said the flights were just too expensive. He's not here. They were chatting earlier on the phone. But he sits on his own in this round of 24 game, you can call it. And what's more interesting for Taxa, he was the only player that's in this round that went unbeaten in the group stages. Yes, he didn't top the group, but out of the 12 players, or 16 players I should say, that are in this round from the 24, the only one that hasn't dropped a game. Maybe that is all going to change in an instant as he finds himself 2-0 down. Remember, we are playing 9-minute halves. There's a long time still to be played. As Taxa's Mbappe tries to bring him back into the attack. It's a nice overlap from Cafu, one of those icon selections in the team. Plays back into R9! And that's a bit more like it, you'll be saying.
Beautiful goal by Taxa again. Fullback out of position. He finds Ronaldo on the inside. And in my opinion, I don't know if you agree, Tom, defense is always about, you got to put the press up, but you cannot pull players out of position, because if you do that, as we just seen in the previous 3 goals, you're doomed.
I'm glad you said it, because it's something that I go with when I'm playing all the time. I'll say it out loud to myself. You cannot pull people out of the back 4 because everyone slides over and there's always an extra man. As soon as you lunge with one of the defenders, all the space opens up, and we've seen it 3 times already, and I think it'll be a theme today, because when you're playing a big occasion like this, the nerves are there. You might bite too early, you might tackle too early, and then everyone else will slide, and it might take 3 or 4 passes, but it's because of that first movement there. It's always the case.
Well, you may have just seen that in a little instant too. It's Cardillo that leads by 2 goals to nil of Olympique Lyon. I think what's even more of a special touch there, Tom, Lucas Leckel was in this tournament last week. He got knocked out, but he's back here this weekend, sitting behind his teammates, supporting him.
Yeah, don't ask me what Lex did to me in the Champions League last year, please. He beat me 9-1.
Wow.
Yeah, he was on fire.
What happened? Did you fall asleep?
Don't know. Forgot.
Well, we might be on for another 9-1 performance, because at the moment for Hezar's, it is going terribly 3-0 down.
He's on fire, Dilo. He's playing really, really well. That's exactly how you want to start a day like this. You want to be straight at it from the get-go. And Dilo, I think we saw it with Marley as well, started well. And yeah, something very helpful in these games where there's so much on the line. The first 30 minutes goes a long way. It kind of dictates the tempo for the rest of the match.
And the thing is, if you're playing one attacking player, I don't know, maybe if you're playing Anders or someone like that, I mean, you go 3-0 down, it's kind of okay. But when you're playing Marley and Dilo, you're 3-0 down, wow, it's hard because they'll keep the possession in a way in which you're not able to replicate with anything.
Yeah, I find it really interesting with Marley. We'll see next time he's in possession. He's got his left back on overlap, but he's actually triggering his right back as well. It's kind of like a new part of the 4-3-2-1 variation where you expect him to just tap down the left, but as soon as he's not happy there, he'll trigger the right back run, and that's where he's got both fullbacks up, and that's where he's creating the space. It'd be something to pick up on when Marley's next keeping the ball and building up the way he is.
A question to you both off the back of what we've just been talking about there. How difficult is it to prepare for one game? Because for a lot of these players, they would have arrived at about 1 p.m. They're waiting 5 hours to play one game. How difficult is it, Tom, or what would you do in terms of preparation? Obviously, a few players like just to practice non-stop. Some play a couple of games and just sit back.
It's a real skill. It's something that I struggle with because I take a few games to warm up. I normally need 3 or 4. We'll see Marley in again.
Oof. The time finishing wasn't good enough, and now the corner could be dangerous.
Here we go.
Corner comes in, 2 hands on it.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. It's always really hard to play the first game of the day. I think it's the hardest game of any day, and sometimes it just takes like a couple of games to warm up properly. But I think it's a skill, and you train those skills, but obviously it just comes up with who you are. I found it that maybe exercise for a bit, not like really hard exercise, but maybe jumping on the bike for 20 minutes, something like that. It worked for me.
So it could be in.
Did you just say you jump on the bike, Rav?
He's exercising.
Do you bring a sort of like a bike to the venue with you and have a little cycle?
I mean, that's a thing here in London, right?
Yeah, a lot of. For me, I try and play the last warm-up match as if it's the game. I go headset on, I get fully in the zone, like I have everything as if I'm playing, because try to replicate that just before you play, because it is very hard. Like you go from warming up and you're kind of messing around, just seeing what works, what doesn't, and you're straight into a high-pressure game where if you lose, you're out. It's difficult.
Great ball.
There's another chance for Marley, maybe one of the last ones of this first half in this. Also play 4 round. Tony Cruz finds Mbappe for 3. Donnarumma. Does enough again. Corner played short. Pirlo and Tony Cruz linking up well. Stepero exits. Still Pirlo now, who is the player that was subbed in this weekend for Xavi. You can understand why. Lofted indeed. There's the drop, but there's the head down. And if it wasn't for Manchester City's Gavardiol, that could have been 3-1 on the stroke of half-time, Grav.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be it probably, because maybe the pass is coming into Mbappe. Do you think this is going through? Yeah. Wow. So quick.
He's around the corner of João Cancelo. Is it an equaliser before half-time? It might just be. Back to R9. And that should do us for the halfway point. As Brighton of Albion, after a 2-0 lead, they may have conceded 1, but they still are up at the stroke of half-time. It's Brighton of Albion 2, FC Lorient 1, and we're going to jump over to Richard Buckley, who's had a closer eye on the first half here.
Thank you very much, Brandon, Ryan, Brandon, Grav and Tom. I want to look at the second goal in particular from Marley, because the goal is made very simple for such bad defending, to be honest, from Taxa. We're going to watch this play out, and we're just going to pause it right now. What we've got is his second man pressing with Vincent Kompany. I'll go with that one actually because it shows you it better. He's so far out of the centre-back position, and as we're going to roll this clip on, he's too aggressive, he's too intent on winning the ball back. All he wants to do is win it, win it, win it. And as this ball comes back now, just pause right there, this is the defensive line. It's all out, all over the place. He's too... I'm getting so excited. He's too bad defensively. He's pulling out, he's too aggressive. And as this play comes on, you can't even see the goal scorer in this. It's Didier Drogba, all the way at the back post. Tiki-taka plus coming in from Pedri. Lovely ball around the corner. Drogba smashes it in. Pretty identical goal from the first one. If Mark continues playing like this, I can see him going all the way and making it into the eChampions League finals. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Rich. Yeah, I mean, look, just to go on from that as well, Marley looking so good and just so direct at times, Tom.
Yeah, he's got these patterns on lock. Marley's a player that likes to pass it. You won't see too many in the air, and he seems like he's mastered these patterns. I remember seeing it in the Premier League when he went all the way to the final, and you're seeing it now again. Once he knows these patterns, he will keep repeating them over and over again. It's like a machine, just doing the same kind of things, and Montax is going to have to switch onto it. As Richard said, he's going to have to change the player switching, make sure he's not moving players out, because when Marley's in the mood like this, he's difficult to stop.
Yeah, I think I agree 100% with you. And another player that plays like this, in my opinion, is Ethan. Like Ethan, if he finds a way of scoring goals, he won't stop. And I love that you said that, because maybe sometimes we don't analyze patterns when we are here on the screen. But for example, those 2 goals were exactly the same.
Yeah.
So you were spot on, Tom.
And I can imagine how many times he scored that in practice as well. He'd be doing that non-stop.
Well, Tom, I know you joked the fact that you had a bit of a rough and tumble of Olympic Lyon not that long ago when Lucas led for 1-9-1. Curtadilo is 4-0 up for Hezars. What is going on?
It's tough when you don't start well and the other players there. I mean, Dilo's done this to me in practice a few times before. When he gets going, he's so hard to stop, and yeah, they're on fire there.
Well, we have got the Twitch open as well. Remember, we have got Tom Lees here, who has played in this eChampions League before, been in the Premier League champion also. Any questions you got from him, or maybe improving your game? Would you be happy to answer a few questions?
Yeah, fire away, fire away. You've got me for the whole broadcast.
Just anything non-Spurs related, ideally.
Yeah, you know what? It's been a tough week as a Spurs fan.
I'll try and avoid any questions in regards to that.
Let's keep it to FC, yeah, because football's not been great.
Of course, as we said, 2 games at the same time are taking place here in the Champions League. Just 8 games for today. And then tomorrow, we'll be providing you our round of 16, where we'll see 8 players. They're already there. Here's R9, cuts it back. Oh, he's just scuffed the shot, Mbappe. I don't know how he's not hit that in, Graf.
Montax is only using the ball roll, really, and then the control sprint. And he's not using anything else. And sometimes you don't need to be fancy. For example, Tom, you were just really efficient with your timing. When I remember playing against you, I had my tough times in 2020 when I didn't win a single game. You won 7 of them, so I know what I'm talking about. It was just sometimes you don't need to be fancy. If the timing is right, that's all you need.
I notice it with all the top pros. They're just really, really good at the simple things, will not make mistakes. You know, you don't need to do 6, 7 skills at times. If you can master the basics and the efficient stuff that works, you know, if it's a ball roll pass inside, if it's a little bit of R1 dribbling, it will work every time. You get your timing right. I think timing is a good word, you know, because I think a lot of the game is around timing, when you take that first touch, when's the time to pass, things like that. I think it's really hard to coach as well. So I think a lot of players, you see it's why players are so successful for so many years, is that they just have it. I think some people just have it very, very well.
This is a good attack by Cancelo. He'll pass it back to his rock, but no.
He's going to recycle again. Ooh, that's a good idea.
Tom, question for you. Literally can't seem to win any games with any formations. Any tips from Migo? I think that sometimes is a bit of an issue. People maybe look a bit too much into the formation. They're always changing it all the time.
Yeah, I think sometimes you have to just look at your own game. I would advise 4-3-2-1 to start, and then kind of just work on your own game. Something that I like to do is just watch my own games back, because you'll see you actually concede quite a lot of similar goals and you start picking up on it. But I think if you're looking at the most effective now, 4-3-2-1, and if you're struggling to defend, I actually use 4-2-3-1 quite a lot. I use it in all pro games because it just gives me a bit more stability when they're recycling and putting it around the box. So yeah, I'd actually advise 4-2-3-1, especially if you can't defend.
Keep those questions coming in for Tom Lees. There's an update over in this game. It's not looking good if you're a AC Monza fan or a Hezars fan. The E-Serie A champion is not finding his feet here in London after a good performance last week, which was enough to send him into the knockouts. 5-0 down. He hasn't been able to get going. Taxa!
What a player luck. Come on. Wow.
And at the moment, it's all chat about the French League 1. 2-0 down, back to 2-2.
Oh.
That is not easy, you know. Their player locks are so sharp, so sharp. You have to hit them so quickly, and it just moves the player about 2 yards, but it opens up the passing angle that's not there.
Yeah, I mean, I really like to explain FC sometimes in terms of timing, of angles, of space. And for me, you open up the angle and then the space is there.
It's going to be 6 here.
Surely not.
Yeah, he's flying. Here we go. Ball in.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, yeah. That is how you wrap a game up.
Wow.
I think at 6, that one's done.
It surely has to be done.
Yeah.
And it's tough for Hezar because he's a champion. Last year he was the runner-up in ECL, but sometimes this isn't just an FC game. It's just 25 minutes, and if you're not sharp enough, you're out.
it happens, so you see quite a lot of blowouts, because if one player's on top, it's so hard. If you're not in form, not playing well, it can run away from you quickly, especially if the other one's clinical. It seems like every time D'Lo goes forward, there's a goal, and he's on fire. That will give D'Lo a lot of confidence going forward as well. If you can ask any player to start this stage and go 6-0 up in 60 minutes, that is exactly what you want.
Well, you know who waits in his wings if he wins this game? He'll be playing Johnny tomorrow, who has not lost a game since the virtual Bundesliga kicked off. He's not lost a game. He went 16 unbeaten there. Came into the group stages. He's been unbeaten here as well.
Wow.
There's a few people in the chat saying Kurt Adilo is going to be that man to beat Johnny. Again, that game will be coming tomorrow, but as it looks like, Kurt Adilo is cruising through to the round of 16. He loves the Champions League, so it seems, because he was here in Istanbul before. And as we can as well, we'll preview the next games that are coming up as well. 2 more matches follow this one. Matias Bonano of Manchester City, of course. Team Tex. Well, hold on for a minute, because Taxa has just completely flipped this game around. 2-0 down. The Italian leads by 3 goals to 2, and it came from this goal here with R9 Gravison.
Yeah, that's a weird angle, but that's the reason why you're using R9, pretty much. I mean, I remember yesterday, Tom, we were talking about the icons options, and for example, I think if I'm playing here, I'm probably going with Cafu, Drogba, probably Pirlo, Xabi Alonso, but you said you wanted R9 probably as a striker?
I think R9 is just so clinical, and for me, I'm someone that takes quick touch in the box. I like to get my shot off, and I think when you're banking on big goals like that, 2-2, 70th minute in a game like this, R9's the man for it. He's always tucking them in. So, yeah, proving his worth again. And Marley's got a big 18 minutes here.
Going to be a goal back. Mbappe, look at the space. He's got 3-3, all square again.
So you notice the pattern? Very similar, very similar. You know what Marley's doing now. You can see it. Once he's mastered it, every time he'll work his way in. And it seems to be, if he comes from the left side, it's the right forward that finishes it. And if he comes from the right side, look, he comes from the left here, and now it's the right forward that finishes it there.
Yeah, you notice how Taxa went to try to cover the pass with company, but this time he decided not to pass it back, to just control and shoot. And yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, sometimes you just need a single driven pass into a striker, first time touch, and it works fine.
I think sometimes this is where you need a coach for Taxa, because normally a coach would pick up, like, look, it's the same thing, you know, your company's coming out or your other defender's coming out, and then it's creating the space. But in a moment like this, it's so hard to pick that up straight away. That's why I like having another set of eyes watching my games.
Taxa on the hump for another goal. Remember, he just led by 3 goals to after chasing this game at 2-0 down.
It's too late. That's the anticipate plus right there.
Yeah. I mean, he's much better now with that playstyle. I think it's my favorite defensive playstyle.
Yeah, I think it's the best as well, yeah.
Can he compete with Drogba anymore? Any more so than last week?
I mean, he can, but if a cross is coming in, no chance.
You're still putting your house on Drogba to win it.
Yeah.
Sule's got the bruiser and the aerial, which is helpful, but we'll see if it's enough to stop Drogba, because it's going to take a lot.
Well, there's many more games taking place here. There's one coming your way. How about this one, gentlemen? Fummer against Danny Pitbull comes up after this one here in the Champions League. You don't know where to look because the games are coming thick and fast.
I mean, yeah. Just a few seconds ago, we had Man City's Matias Bonano. You played against him this year, Niprem. Sorry about reminding you about that.
Bringing up all the losses here.
sorry, but coming up to the game against Matias, how do you think Rickard is feeling at the moment?
I think for Rickard, you have to upset Matias's rhythm in the way he defends. You have to be direct, you have to be quick. If I've ever seen Matias struggle against players, it's players like Nick Sneb, where they're quick, skillful, onto you straight away. If you try and play methodical and play slow and build up and maybe have a chance every 10 minutes, Matias loves it. He will sit and he will wait and he will not let any spaces happen. So be interesting to see how Rickard approaches it, but that would be my advice. I'll be saying get at him, direct, go straight for it.
We're into a pause now. Just what we got a minute as well. Rickard, what leagues did he play in, Grav?
Portuguese league. I played against him. Of course, if I'm reminding Tom of his losses, I gotta remind myself of my losses as well. I lost against him 1-3, so yeah. Go, Graf.
Are we about to see a remarkable... I mean, I don't think there's enough time, unfortunately, but Hezar was 6-0 down. He's just got 3 goals back. Unfortunately, there's only 5 in-game minutes left.
I think it's too much. D'Lo just has to keep the ball for 2 minutes there and he'll be okay.
And especially with the stamina.
Yeah, he would have been constant pressing for like 30 minutes now.
Yeah.
It's too much, yeah.
Even if you manage to get a
my.
draw.
Oh my days.
Corner? Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
It must have been the corner. We didn't see it live, but we'll see it again on the replay for you. Player locked onto Drogba. No one is stopping him. And he might know that that could be enough to send him into a round of 16 game against PH if he can hold on for, I don't know how much time there was left. There was, what, 5 minutes? Maybe less than that?
5 minutes, I think it was. I had the chance to talk to both the Brighton guys, and they told me they were suffering with the corners because, for example, against Nacho in the deciding match, they conceded 2 goals. 2 of them came from corners, and there's really not much you can do. In my opinion, you can change the settings to manual on the earn and lose balls, but again, if you do that, when you switch up the play, sometimes it doesn't lock onto the player, so it's a tough one. Because I actually told Adam Ryan, maybe you can switch up the settings, but he told me 1 hour before the match, you're crazy, I'm not changing the settings.
Well, we're about to have a full-time result here, and it will be, we can confirm, Curtadilo of Olympique Lyon taking on SC Paderborn's Johnny in tomorrow's round of 16 game.
What a game.
That one will be coming in the same place, same time tomorrow, live here from London. Winner of that game will qualify for the eChampions League final on the 29th of May. But Curtadilo, what a performance. I mean, what a start. It was 5-0 up, Tom.
That's how you start. It could be 8 here.
Talked about post for Drogba.
And
Pretty much a full-time result. If we can jump back to the other game, if we can, just to see if there is any hope for Brighton of Albion to pull back. But Tom, as you were saying,
I mean, I live in a house that's familiar with corners, right? A lot of us know how to take corners there. I have not seen the Taxa one where he goes short and then player locks to the near post. It seems like a new variation. And yeah, it's what pros do. They will find ways. And that Taxa corner, very, very effective for him last week. And he's using it again.
commiserations to Hezar after a great eChampions League last year. He crashes out in the top 24 this time round. He will not be back for the finals. Back to this one now. Is it going to be heartbreak for Brighton of Albion, or can they win the ball back to have one more chance potentially? Taxa, who was 2-0 down in this game, has turned it around. The French League One champion will probably turn his attentions and try and support his teammate in Fummer, who comes up against Danny Pitbull in the next match today. He's playing very dangerous game around the back here. 20 in-game seconds left. Brighton with a double press there. If they can try and get back on the ball in any way they can. But Fummer will wait in the wings to see if he can follow up what his teammate has just achieved. Taxa 4-3 win. He goes through to play PH in tomorrow. You spoke about him not having a coach there, gentlemen, and at 2-0 down, it could have looked a bit worrying. He's come out on top there and pulled himself through. Yeah, it seems that he figured it out, right? He seemed to stop Marley in the way he was playing in the second half, and then, yeah, that effective use of the corner to win the game. But, yeah, it's what the best players do. They can respond very quickly. They can react to it, you know, if something's going against him, and really good comeback.
You got to be frustrated if you're Marley, because you didn't find an answer to those corners. If there's one, because I'm not sure there's one. But sometimes you just, you know, when you're out of a competition and you went out in the same manner as you did in the ePrem with corners, and you didn't find an answer to that, it's really hard, because you go today back to the hotel and you're just gonna be so frustrated with yourself because you didn't find an answer to the problem that was asked of you.
Yeah, very frustrated.
How difficult is it, Tom, as well, in these new 9-minute halves now, when you go up early, to just know what to do? It's
funny because sometimes when you go up 2-0, you kind of think, oh, I didn't want that to happen. Sometimes it can be a really, really big confidence boost. I see with Dilo, he ran away with it. Sometimes you're like, oh, it's 2-0. How do I do it now? Do I keep playing the way I am and keep attacking, or do I start looking at the clock and game management? And it can be difficult, yeah. And I think there's a prime example of it. You do see a lot of 2-0 turnarounds.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really tricky one. I don't know if you agree, Tom. Sometimes when you go 3 goals up, you're confident. When you go 4 goals up, it's like, okay, now I'm crushing it. But 2 goals up, it's just like maybe a corner, maybe I don't play or switch well, and it's 2-2. So it's a tough one.
Yeah, 2 games done here at the Champions League knockout. Still 6 more to come today, but for now, it's over to Ryan Pessoa, who's joined by one of our winners who's in the round of 16 tomorrow with Taxa.
Thanks, everyone. As you said, joined by Taxa. It was a nervy start to that game. You found yourself 2-0 down. Did you have to change anything to get back into it?
Yeah, I played very bad in the first 20 minutes, I think. I was feeling a bit the pressure, I think, and he was keeping the ball a lot. So I was rushing too much, and I was losing a lot of balls. Then I think I figured out how to play, and I think I played way better in the last 70 minutes, I think.
Yeah. In the back of your mind, you would have known that if you win this game, you play against Pietrzyna, who's had a fantastic season. You confident going into that game?
Yeah, I'm so confident. I'm so happy to I can't wait to play him because he's one of the best, if not the best. So I think I'm really ready for this game tomorrow.
Yeah, a massive congratulations to you, Montax. I wish you the best of luck tomorrow. Let's head on back to Rachel.
Thanks, right. Yeah, Rich, let's just talk a little bit about what you said there. A little bit nervy. We were nervy for Mark, 2-0 up, 2-1 at half-time when you analysed it. Do you think it was the pressure of Montaxa or Mark just unravelled a bit?
I just think Montaxa started playing better.
Yeah.
Very similar to what he said in the interview. He was rushing a lot defensively, what I broke down at half-time. He was pulling players out. He just sort of turned the screw a little bit in the second half. And look, it's very small margins. It's a one-goal game in the end. I mean, you can even see the stats. There weren't a lot in it. Mark edged the possession, couple more shots going Montaxa's way. He said he's excited to play Pietrzyna. I'm glad someone is.
I love that.
I wouldn't be.
And Mark can't be disheartened as well. He was epic last week and got through, didn't he, to the knockout. So well done to him as well. But we do set up, don't we, two of our round of 16 matchups then. Pietrzyna Montaxa, like you mentioned. Wowzer, that one. Ketadilo, he gets the privilege of playing Johnny, Rich.
What a player. I mean, Ketadilo has been absolutely flying. He was scoring 8 in the groups. He's taken down Hezar, who last year's runner-up, and he made him look very ordinary. Like, Ketadilo is a name that maybe is not on the tip of the tongue, but he's one to watch to potentially go all the way.
We should have a look then at a MasterCard moment of the match, because it does come from that matchup as well, from Ketadilo and Hezar. It came from not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, his 6th goal, Richard Buckley.
And it was what a goal as well. I think Gravison's reaction on the commentary summed it up best. He just made noise. It was an unbelievable finish. That dink over the top is beautiful, and then look at that. Oh, the fact that that's gone in, the audacity to do it in the first place, like you're hitting it first time, but that is an outrageous goal.
It was noisy, wasn't it?
Was.
Made some noise over there. Obviously knocked out runner-up from last year, Hezar as well. He goes on, like you mentioned, Johnny, PS5 player of the day last week. Do you think what you've seen today, he can retake it to Johnny? He was special, 7 goals there, 6-0 his lead at one point.
No.
Still not, even from that.
No, I think Johnny goes through.
Well,
sorry, Kurt.
strong statement.
Sorry.
Well, let's see. That happens tomorrow, doesn't it? Round of 16 comes your way. Anyway, last week we had you guessing. We know you love guessing our Easter eggs, and we had you guessing nations, and it was the Dutch League. Did you guess that straight away, Rich?
I did, once I got told.
Of course you did. Once you got told. Anyway, we have another one for you this week. It's another league again. So guess the Mystery League. We actually have already had a couple of clues for you eagle-eyed viewers earlier on, maybe from Gravison. Anyway, I'm not giving you any more clues. Anyway, as well as that, we also have some items that you can receive if you watch the knockouts. All you have to do is link your EA account to be eligible to receive 400 experience points, a Jumbo Premium Gold Pack, a Rare Electrum Players Pack, a complete all to claim a Jumbo Rare Player Pack. Again, to receive these rewards, you just need to do what, Richard Buckley? Link what?
Link your EA and Twitch account.
There we go.
Twitch account.
Simples, isn't it? Absolutely simples. There we have it. OK, guys, you get doing that in the break, and Rich and I will have a couple of moments just to breathe after the round 1 of fixtures. We get to go, don't we? Take 2. It's coming your way in a few moments' time. Well, you are watching the eChampions League knockouts, but on the 29th of May, we have our eChampions League finals, and you can be there as well. The magazine London is what's hosting that event, and the tickets are on sale right now. You can scan that QR code or visit fcpro.com, and you can come and watch all these FC pros in all the glory. It's going to be an absolutely epic event. This is my favourite one of the calendar. We've been doing it now, Grab, since 2019. I can't believe it's in its 6th edition. Right, so we hope you'll join us there. But back to the knockouts then. Matias Bonano, he is a force to be reckoned with. He's been a runner-up here before. He's got Rickard in the next round, obviously a really important matchup. But Grab, he's probably looking one step ahead, isn't he, to who he's playing next? A player from the Dutch league, Emre Yilmaz, who's a force to be reckoned with as well.
I have a quick anecdote because we were jumping on the taxi to airport last weekend, and the taxi was Edu, Mati, Nico, Nit, and I.
What a taxi.
What a taxi. I mean, you could imagine we were talking about FC for sure. And they talk about how the Eredivisie guys, in their opinion, were just a level above. I mean, Mati agreed, Nit agreed, Nico agreed. They're just too strong. They're just too quick. The timing is always good. The press is too tough to handle, really. So obviously he'll be thinking about the match against Rickard because, I mean, Rickard is a great player. I played against him in the Portuguese league and he's a force to be reckoned with. But I think Matias is obviously thinking about this match, but he's thinking about the next one as well.
Yeah, and he thinks that's going to be hard. Anyone in the Dutch league, they are on fire at the moment, as we've seen in the leagues. But anyway, he does play next. He's sitting just over there as well, listening to everything we're saying. But of course, he fell, didn't he, at the final hurdle back in 2022. What can he do this season?
My name is Matias Bonano and I'm representing Man City. I qualified for eChampions League because I won the ePremier League. Me and Dex, we play against so many good players and I'm very happy for qualifying for eChampions League. My first time in eChampions League was incredible, not perfect because I lose the final. So now I want to win the tournament. I want the revenge.
Matias Bonano has turned it on.
eChampions League is the most important tournament in Europe in football, so it's more important. It's a big opportunity for me. Any player for me is the same. I want to win the tournament. My opponent for me is the same.
Well, can he get one step closer to lifting this trophy this year? Well, we'll find out in a few moments' time because he's playing next.
Joko could make it 2 with the power shot. Big goal for Matias Bonano.
Rickard makes it through the knockout stages. Fummer's 3-0 up will leave him to it because he seems like he's getting on just fine.
Danny Pitbull, what a finish.
The Champions League knockouts rolls into the next round and we've got some juggernauts coming your way. League champions everywhere you look. Matias Bonano versus Rickard on the main stage. And that secondary stage is going to be unbelievable. Danny Pitbull versus Fummer. We'll be keeping our eyes on all the action as it unfolds. Let's have a look at our main game here in Bonano and Rickard. We're underway straight away. No wait needed, Ryan Pessoa. Rickard, when you look at the groups, was quite fortunate to go through.
Agreed.
He got 4 points.
Yep.
In every other of the 8 groups, 4 points doesn't get you through. He went through with goal difference in the final game. If you look at this match on paper, there is one clear favourite, and that's Matias Bonano. Can Rickard perform above what he showed us last weekend and knock out one of the favourites in Bonano?
He's going to have to perform at a level that, again, we didn't really see throughout the group stage. I think it will be fair to say, for his perspective as well, playing below par, but he'd done enough. The point was just to get to this stage, and he's put himself in the conversation to make the finals of the eChampions League. But as we said, he has to play a perfect game against Matias.
Matias, 9 points in his group. He only suffered 1 defeat, and that was a 6-2 loss to the hands of Emre Yilmaz. This is Rickard coming forward, dinks it down for Mbappe. And it's a really, really smart goal from the Portuguese champ.
Incredibly well worked goal there mechanically as well, with the player locks to the back post. Didier Drogba wasn't even on the screen here as the highlight rolls in. The edge of the box, we always talk about the area plus dominance. The knock down there is the key aspect of that goal.
The reason he drove all the way to the byline as well, Mbappe was always going to be onside.
Yep.
Because Bonano pushed over with his defenders.
It's extremely well worked. Just to, again, when you build up, especially in a 4-3-2-1 this year, the key is just to sort of overload your opponent, but triggering the runs are so key, because it pushes your opponent's defensive line back. Unless they offside trap manually, you're going to find those type of situations, always.
Well, we just saw Taxa go through versus Marley for FC Lorient. They were victorious at the E-League only a few weeks ago, when Fummer is 1-0 up versus a former eChampions champion in Danny Pitbull. FC Lorient are loving life here in London.
Yeah, they really are. Audacious ball over the top. Never going to win that there. Vardio aerially dominant over Cafu.
See Pedri taking all that space up. Fires the ball into Drogba. He looks for Mbappe. Vincent Kompany and Gvardiol just do enough between them to clear the lines for Rickard. Fummer doubling his lead inside 8 minutes. Henry with the step overs into Mbappe. It's green timed. It rebounds to Drogba, who instinctively slots it into the back of the net. And that was a pause cue there from Danny Pitbull. Clearly not happy what he's seen in the opening 10 minutes, trailing 2-0.
Great start there from Fummer. Rickard could have had another chance there for the bounce fell his way there with Mbappe. Could have found himself in on goal.
We should have.
I think for Matias throughout this year, I think it's fair to say, Richard, we've seen the best and the worst.
Yeah.
We've seen him in the E-Premier League fantastic as well. The FC Pro Open earlier on this season.
Rock bottom.
It wasn't the best performance, but
you saw a variation of the play lock as well there. He play locked the pass and then had already switched on to Mbappe when he wanted the ball. Toni Kroos getting back doing his defensive work. As you can see, 3 playstyle pluses there for Toni Kroos as well. Look to be anticipate plus. Alongside pinged and long ball pass, or pinged pass, has been added to the repertoire.
Yep, that's key there. Ping pass is so useful when recycling possession. Just a driven pass into the attacker. Fummer and Mbappe in possession. First time ball over the top.
Oh, Kompany.
I don't know what's happened there. Oh my goodness, what a goal that is from Fummer.
Get it in, the goals of the day right now.
You love a power shot as well.
I love a power shot. You're asking questions of a company. Throw your weight about, Vincent. But Didier Drogba, the power shot, green timed from Fummer. He's absolutely flying at the moment. Bonano has struggled in the opening 18 minutes. Rickard's played well, got that goal from the player lock at the byline, and has defended pretty solidly as well so far.
Absolutely, it's been a promising start from Rickard. Look at the overlap there from Cafu all the way at the back post. He isn't going to play it though. He's going to play it over the top to Didier Drogba. This is it. Tiki-taka, the first time ball into Mbappe. Xavi Simons, we haven't seen at all in any other squad.
Cafu now dinked out wide. This is where he can be dangerous, and he's pulled Gvardiol a long way out there alongside Pedri. He knew that he had to win the ball back in that area. Drogba making that run in behind, now offside, and just going to recycle the possession here is Bonano. Danny Pitbull looks to have got one back, sliding the ball through to Toni Kroos. He links up to Ronaldo, who slams it into the back of the net. 15 minutes, 4 goals between 2 powerhouses of the eChampions League, Danny Pitbull and Fummer.
Tried to play that reverse pass there, Matias. It was a smart ball, of course, didn't work out in that situation.
It's a lovely switch. Drogba making his run past the defender, and the ball is perfect. Drogba green time, Donnarumma with a big save.
About 3 passes and he's in on goal. Corner kick though, we saw how effective he was last week from corners. Didier Drogba, you know, you have to mark him, you have to move the goalkeeper, manually try your best to stop him winning that header. It's not easy.
Just talk me through the two points of view we're seeing here as well. Bonano obviously exchanging with Edu. This is live. We just jumped into it. Perfect timing because Danny Pitbull's just got one back. 3-2. Let's see this goal. Talk me through it, Ryan.
Toni Kroos plays it into Pirlo. into Mbappe. So driven past in, again, defensively, it was aggressive. He's trying to manually switch between the defenders to try and cut the lane himself. And then Tom was earlier on speaking about how important it is to not pull centre-backs or defenders in general out of position, sorry, because, again, the moment you do that, it leads to a catalogue of errors. Yeah, 5 goals in not even 20 minutes played.
When I look down all the games today, there you go. Fummer versus PH will be the final. Pato letting us know. Who do you think is going to win the eChampions League? Let us know in the Twitch chat at home right now. Put your suggestions in there, your predictions, who you think's going to win the eChampions League, and we'll pull a few of them up on the screen.
There's something with Fummer where...
And we keep receipts as well.
Yeah, we do.
So
you guys
be keeping receipts
on me. I'm keeping receipts as well, 100%. But with Fummer, there's always a situation where he's either up by 3 or down by 3. And then the scoreline reverses. I don't know what it is, but it's every single time. But we're back to this game, the main featured game. Rickard, player locked into R9.
Seeing Xavi Simons in the attacking third of the pitch. Scooped back out wide from Rickard. He's trying to exploit the space, and Drogba now whipped in, but that's always going to be easy for Donnarumma. Interesting time for a pause. 20 minutes in, I suppose, if you can see that something's not going well or your coach wants you to pause the game, you're gonna listen to the advice.
Yeah, absolutely no harm in doing so. Sometimes you pause it and you don't even need to make a change. Here we go again. Danny Pitbull with this highlight.
Don't tell me he's make it 3-3. He has.
Oh, beautiful play. Good
Danny
turning.
Pitbull.
Great finish.
He was 3-0 down inside like 16 minutes. He's now scored 3 in about 9 minutes. When I saw all the games for today, all these sort of the qualifying round to get into the round of 16, that game feels like it should be a quarter-final.
Yeah.
When you just look at it on paper, I mean, it was poor results from Fummer, which put him in this position. He lost 6-5 versus Manu Bishor and lost 6-2 versus Thomas OM. Danny Pitbull, on the other hand, suffering 2 defeats to PH.
He's gone.
And Mark Bonano, big chance. Has to do better.
Yeah, it's good keeper movement. I'm going to give credit to Rickard because obviously when you're defending in that situation, you're moving the left centre-back, on the right side of the goal, if that makes sense. So you know you have to move the goalkeeper the other way. You're kind of just relying on the defender to do his job and block the shot, or the keeper moving in the right direction, and it worked perfectly for Rickard.
Fummer and Danny Pitbull played last year, qualifier number 2.
Yep.
It was Fummer with a 4-3 victory. I think we're going to see more goals than 7 this time around. Yep. We've already had 6, we're not even at half time yet. The story emerging here is Bonano going to be 10 minutes away from half time, trailing 1-0. There's still a lot of FC left to play, and Rickard's not really done much after going 1-0 up, Ryan. Do you think he looks like he didn't expect to be in this position?
It's difficult to say, but I feel as if in that situation we just saw when he gave possession away with Xavi Simons, it's sort of a way where he's playing in a certain way to build up, and if Matias can track that, good defending. But if Matias can track that, of course, it nullifies Rickard building up a lot. He has to be sort of unpredictable.
Bonano not able to get it ticking yet in the final third. That's good pressure back from Mbappe, and a chance here for the Man City man to force an equaliser. R9, extra pass to Mbappe, shot across the keeper. Good defending, player locked back into Mbappe, and another chance for Bonano will come.
Very unlucky.
Rickard's...
It's Brazilian.
Yeah,
the way he's defending,
solid at the back.
100%. He's not dragging players out of position. Even if you saw there briefly, Company was being dragged to the left side of the pitch for the loose ball, but he switched over to Vardio knowing that that's his left back. He needs to make sure his left back and centre back are in the right positions. Mbappe in behind.
Squares it. R9, 2-0. Rickard upsetting the apple cart. He scored right at the start of the half, and he's gone 2-0 up just before half-time.
Wow, the person we'll question is Xavi Simons with a great ball in behind to Mbappe. The player lock across to R9. It's just perfect in between the defenders. R9 for an open goal finish near enough, and it puts Rickard 2-0 up just before half-time. There is time, though, for Matias Bonano to try and get a goal back before half-time, which would be perfect for him.
Yeah, there certainly is.
I'll be honest, Rich, right?
He's not played well so far.
He hasn't at all, but my prediction before this game, I thought it'd be a Matias whitewash. I'll be completely honest. I just didn't see.
The scoreline?
We were not talking about Let's just say the scoreline can't happen right now. Matias in behind. Last minute of added time, or 1 minute of added time, sorry, in the first half. Playing it into R9, can't get the shot off goal. Again, great defending from Rickard, getting bodies in the right position.
One final chance of this half is going to fall Rickard's way. It's Drogba. Playing into R9, player locks back, Donnarumma smothers it. And Bonano is happy to go into half-time, only trailing by 2-0. An upset is starting to emerge here at the eChampions League. In the other game, Danny Pitbull and Fummer still drawing at 3 apiece. It's been an upset so far, and our very own Gravison has been combing over what is made of this first half.
Thank you so much, Richard. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Rickard because I suffered his cold quite a lot of times in Portuguese League, got eliminated in the Portuguese League because of that. So, I mean, we're talking a bit too much about the Portuguese League. Maybe there's a reason behind that, but yeah. In this instance, as we can see, if we just play out the clip, you can see Toni Kroos is gonna switch up the play with a long ball pass, and if we just stop it here with Cafu, this is the main mistake because he's always gonna be thinking about Rickard, attacking this space in here. So he just wants you to commit. And sometimes you just, when you commit, and if you stop in this exact position, you're doomed because there's nothing you can do because Cafu has the whip cross playstyle plus. So with just a cross from here with the player lock into Drogba, which is not on the screen, but it should be if you look at the minimap around there. If you just cross it to Drogba, there's nothing you can do. So if we just roll the clip, it's gonna be a player lock, and then in this position, you just pass it to Mbappe, and you're doomed. So the main thing here, if you overcommit with the fullback and try to cover the pass into the midfield, he's just gonna keep running with Cafu and gonna look with the whip cross into the air, plus knockdown and an easy goal by Mbappe. So, I mean, as I mentioned before, I suffer in the Portuguese League. Do not commit with the fullback, because if you do, you're going to get punished. So thank you so much, guys. Let's see what happens in the second half.
Great work, Gravison. We went and found some FC royalty, the world champion, joining us for the commentary of this second half. Are you surprised by what you've seen so far? Bonano 2-0 down.
Yeah, I think that was not something most people expected coming into this. I knew Rickard was a good player. I practiced a few times against him. So it was not like that big of a shock, but still, based on name, you expect Bonano to do well. And here's a 3-0.
Wait, oh my God, it's live.
It is live, Ryan, and it's 3-0 up. Here's Rickard, incredible.
Great goal.
That is stunning there, straight from half-time. A little dink ball into Drogba. It's a great finish as well. Great finish from Drogba. 3-0 up in this game against Matias Bonano, who's got a mountain to climb now to get back into this game. But just before I touch on this game even more, there was a comeback in the other game.
Danny Pitbull got this 4-3 up.
4-3 up. Manny, you played against Fummer in the group stage. You had, 11 goals between you both, as we see the replay of this goal in question. Played to the edge of the box. Toni Kroos there building up. Triggered run, Pedri driven pass into Pirlo and a shot across goal. But as I was mentioning, it was an 11-goal swing between both you and Fummer, 6-5.
Yeah.
I think was he 3-0 up, or was you?
I was.
You were 3-0 up. He brought it back, and then it was just an influx of goals and chances in that game. What was your thought process going through that? How do you rate Fummer?
Well, before the game, I knew it was going to be very tough because I know his style of play is very direct, very quick on the counter-attack. And but I went 3-0 up quick, but I still knew it was not over. And then I immediately conceded after that. But still, no problem in my head. And then I must say I conceded 2 very similar goals in terms of the way of giving it away, like losing the ball in important places. And here's Bonano.
Oh, that's too much power.
Tell you what,
it's unlike him.
The way that this game's starting to pan out, Rickard will be thinking 60 minutes, 70 minutes, and then you can start to look towards the end of the game. You just got to break it down into stages, especially with 9-minute halves. You can't look too far ahead. However, I'm trying to recall a Bonano shot on target.
Well, that should have been one.
Yeah,
should have been.
Put too much power in it. Put way too much power in that.
But I think in 9-minute halves, you can't stop thinking about scoring yourself, because if you're trying to relax, then stuff like this is going to happen. Good keeper movement.
He just seems to be rushing ever so slightly in the final third.
I feel like he could have had a little bit more time there. Hold on a minute. We went to this game live. Fummer against Danny Pitbull, of course, our second game going on. Winner advances to the next stage of the eChampions League.
We are going to stay on this game for a little while. between Fummer and Danny Pitbull. If you've got any questions for the world champion, Manu Bashir, let us know. We will ask him anything you want in the chat. We'll pick some of the best questions out and we will be getting your answers for you. This is Fummer in the attack. Drogba is player locked. He's pulled it to the near post. He's
trying to bait the keeper.
Rebound.
Keeper doesn't get there fully.
Danny Pitbull just about clears it.
Talk to me, Manu, about how important mentality is in this scene. Of course, there are some stages where it might not be going your way. But again, how important is it to not be disheartened, just to keep on prodding and keep on going on?
It's very important because in games stuff like this happens, where, for example, lead 3-0, give it away. But there's still loads of time left for Fummer now. It's still 45?
Yeah, plenty of time.
35 minutes left.
Yeah.
And yeah, so in 9-minute half, that's even more than a half in 6 minutes.
Got a question for you there from Awake Scissors. How do you use player switching effectively?
It's a lot of watching pros, for example, switching with the right stick if a player is far away, switching with L1 if a player is close. And yeah, you need to watch the pros, of course, to see how they do it. And yeah, in the end, it's all, you create that feeling which creates an automatic feeling that you know what you're going to do.
Just seeing Danny Pitbull come forward here. He's looking for a fifth to start to pull away from Fummer. Cuts the byline, and that will give us a corner. It'll give us a chance to tell you about a goal between Rickard and Bonano. Count Matias out at your peril. Drogba with the header at the back post.
That's what he needed.
Yep.
That's quite dangerous, because when he starts thinking that you're there for the taking, you must have had a few games against Bonano in your time. What is he like to play against?
I think he evolved over the years. I would say, wait, let's first watch out for this corner of Dani.
Ooh. Just cleared.
No, I think he's evolved over the years. I think in FIFA 22 he was more of a defensive player, defensively solid, but I think the 23 and 24 game required him to get a bit more flexible and start to be more clinical in attack.
Got a question there from Chetate Vidal. Sorry. I need to join pro leagues. How do I join? How would someone get involved in this fantastic space that we possess?
Oh, penalty.
Oh, hold on a minute.
We'll get your question answered after this penalty comes in. It's Didier Drogba for Fummer to go 4-4. Smashes it into the top left corner. Manu, how would someone get involved in joining a pro league or trying to get their name out there?
Yeah, so at the start of the year there's always an FC Pro ladder, which you can prove yourself to top organizations, top clubs. And if you do well there, you might earn yourself a contract to play in a pro, in a major, or maybe even a minor league, which is also possible to participate in the eChampions League, in a World Cup. So yeah, so I'd say start with the ladder, try to get your way up the ladder, and hope that you do well in the eventual qualifiers, and maybe you'll be there.
We've got two fantastic games that are taking place right now. Fummer and Danny Pitbull all level at 4 apiece. Bonano still trailing 3-1 versus Rickard. However, he is piling on the pressure. If there is any more goals, we'll let you know about it. Straight down the keeper's throat.
Got a score. I think he maybe anticipated the goalkeeper movement. I think he could have gone near post.
You might have heard that. You might have heard of Vamos. That is because Bonano has put the ball in the back of the net again. 3-2 right now.
No.
This was the goal. Player lock. Identical goal, really.
I've seen good use of the player lock in this game, particularly. Both from Rickard and both from Bonano, so great goals.
Dig to the back post. Drogba's up. Danny Pitbull back in front. We don't know where to look.
Amazing mentality from Danny.
Yep. It's 3-0 down early on. It could have gone away from him, but he stuck to it. So you see the goal building up again. Into Pirlo, down towards the byline, back post. There's only one person you're aiming for. It's Didier Drogba, green timed as well. And he takes the lead again.
The winner of this game plays Encante tomorrow. I think you look at that game, out of all the players, potentially, no disrespect to Encante, but I think you fancy yourself in that game.
I'm not answering that.
I tried getting something out of him. I tried getting a little bit of juice.
Nah, it's of course, if you look at history, it's his first LAN tournament. I think all the other guys who finished first have some experience at LAN, international LAN especially.
Also from his domestic league as well. He didn't play that well this year.
Yeah, he qualified, of course, through PSG, getting to the quarterfinal.
Yeah.
Ooh.
How are you feeling for your matchup tomorrow? Obviously, you're going to be playing the winner out of Umut and Egman, who we'll see later on today. You got any thoughts about, obviously, you're trying to get a preference game where you want to play? I know you've had experience playing against Umut in the past. Egman.
Is he in? No.
I'm not going to get mine. Egman has, well, performed extremely well, especially in that group against Taxa and everyone in that group. So either one will be tough, but is there a preference? Maybe I can get out of you.
To be honest, when I saw Umut getting second, I was a bit upset.
Yeah, I remember.
Second.
I remember.
Yeah, I was a bit. But as close as the tournament gets, always with me, I care less about who the opponent going to be. Of course, if you look at...
Who do you see winning that game as well?
Well, I think it's a 60-40 game for Umut.
Okay.
I think still with all his experience.
This is what you might have missed. Bonano, McGeady cancel, green timed. We talked about him rushing chances in the first half. He just seemed to have just got a little bit more confidence. As soon as he scored that first goal, I think he thought that this game was there for the taking. Here's the split screen. There is one goal separating all four players right now. Fummer, 5-4 down versus Danny Pitbull. And Bonano was 3-0 down. He's now tying, should I say. Rickard at 3-3.
Didn't Bonano get more emotional over the years, or is it just me?
Yeah, I feel like he outpours his emotion now.
Both in defeat and in wins, I'd say.
Drogba wins the header.
To cut the lane there. That was important. Very important. He's grown into this game now. You see the space in behind. Rickard just looked, there's so much space in this second half.
Just look for the cutback. It's R9. It's extra pass to Sule.
Winner of this game plays against Levy as well.
Yeah, well, what a game that's going to be.
Yeah.
Switch of play. It's all Man City. It's all Bonano right now. Mbappe to the byline, taking the space, cuts it back! Never count out Bonano.
From what we can see, we can even look at Rickard from our perspective now, head in his hands. He knows that could be a pivotal goal in this game. The switch, the knockdown there into Mbappe, just slowly getting towards the byline, trying to find the perfect pass, and Dembele.
I think what we saw, there was two chances pretty identical in a minute. The first one, he tried cutting it back too early.
Yep.
This one, he drove that extra step, got to the byline, and Rickard looks devastated right now.
I think he realized that Rickard was not looking comfortable in these situations. I think the experience here also plays a big factor, because Bonano literally played almost all the events in the last year. Rickard, I think it's the first international land.
Do you ever look across the stage in the middle of the game to see if your opponent's getting rattled, or?
No, not really. Not really. I always try to think they're in a really positive mindset.
Okay.
Great tackle.
Chance here for Danny Pitbull to make it 6. Pirlo, green timed.
Company got a one on it.
Oh, that's a great block.
He got something on it. Corner played short. We've seen this player lock corner being devastating, but Donnarumma comes through 3 or 4 players to get his hands on the ball. Fummer will fly forward once again with only one thing on his mind. Attack, attack, attack. Well, that's a great interception from Danny Pitbull. He was aggressive and he could get his rewards for it. Through ball into Drogba. It's a 50-50, but Donnarumma does well.
Most of the times when you mess up so many big chances to get the 2-goal lead, the ball will go in on the other side.
Yep.
And again, you can see both games. A minute between them. The action is so tightly contested, we have to show you everything. Bonano was 3-0 down. Danny Pitbull was 3-0 down. Let's not forget.
Yeah. Don't go 3-0 up tomorrow then.
Rule 1. Chance here for Fummer on the right-hand side of your screen. Henry is battling away, but Company does well as Bonano misses out possession. If you turn your attention onto the left, Rickard has a chance to come forward with a lovely switch of play.
Pitbull's playing really well as well.
Danny Pitbull trying to create something. Rickard with a chance here, getting to the byline. That player lock cancel. Mbappe will win the header. Modric now into Toni Kroos, threading the ball back to R9. Mbappe!
Wow.
Rickard, he looked out of this game.
Yeah, that's big, not just, of course, for the dynamics of the game to equalise, but I think the mental approach here. You can see the build-up again. Driven pass into R9, turn, and the extra pass here into Mbappe in the box there was so important. But as I was mentioning, just the belief that he's still in the game. Because when you're 3-0 up and you give away a 3-goal lead, you're in that position. Sometimes your heart sinks. You're just thinking, oh no, this could be a situation where sometimes you're already thinking ahead of the next round or the next game, but still gives him a lifeline.
And you're just seeing the final nail in the coffin. You would imagine Danny Pitbull with a diving header from Didier Drogba to eliminate Fummer from the eChampions League. Ryan's favourite.
One of. I must say, one of my favourites.
Danny Pitbull will go through and take on Encante if it stays as it is.
I think one of the biggest changes with last week is now that Toni Kroos got a ping pass plus play style.
Yeah, so important.
And I think that you saw that as well in the Rickard goal, that he kind of had the opportunity to speed up the game with that driven pass because it's so fast now with Toni Kroos. And in the end, ultimately, he got the goal for it.
I think, again, we talked about it last week, having just the confidence in the players on the pitch to be able to execute what you want from them. Bonano will come forward with one final flurry here, 89 minutes on the clock.
Aggressive defending.
A goal at this point, you would imagine, solidifies the tie. Mbappe into Dembele. He's backing off, and company gets an interception in the way. And now Rickard with 3 additional minutes.
What do you do here, Manny? Do you play for last attack? Would you?
I don't even know anymore.
Oh, he's giving the ball away.
Offside. No, it's not.
Hold on.
R9, Mbappe.
Has to step there with company and he won it.
That is full time. Danny Pitbull will go through. 6 goals to 4. Commiserations to Fummer.
What's going on? He's giving it straight back.
It is carnage at the eChampions League here. Both players giving the ball away in the middle of the pitch. Bonano now with an air of confidence flows over him. Potentially can see a winning goal in his future. Cafu into Modric. Mbappe taking the space that's offered. Ousmane Dembele has won it back. What's happening? Keeper!
Oh my God!
He's won the play lock header, and that will do us.
What have I just seen?
What?
I was about to say, like, as long as Bonano doesn't pass it into a CPU, because no way Rickard was gonna intercept that manually. No way he was gonna intercept any like dribble or pass manually.
Egman's getting ready to play his next game. He's watching our game.
Yeah, crazy.
Oh my goodness.
I just think he didn't have the confidence in Dembele.
No, he didn't. And the space was there, though.
Green, it was a goal, for sure.
He
Yeah,
knows.
He knows.
Oh, incredible. If you do have any questions in this extra time period for the world champion, Manu Bashir, let us know, because we will be going into 30 additional minutes here. I can't believe
When it went, I thought it was a guaranteed goal.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, I thought 100%.
I saw that pass.
Yeah.
Bonano goes 4-3 up. I thought he's going to get a 5th and a 6th here. And then Rickard just turned it back on.
I think this game, what you thought was going to happen just didn't happen. The whole game. You thought Bonano was going to go up, Rickard went up. You thought the game was done at 3-0, Bonano comes back. Then you think 4-3, game is done, Rickard scores again. It's just...
How would you recompose yourself in this position?
Hold on.
R9, red timed.
If I'm Bonano?
Yes. When you've just had a chance to win it.
I think I would say to myself, okay, he's not feeling comfortable. If I just keep passing, if I just keep making the good basic decisions, I'll get my chances. And yeah, in the end, I'll win. Doesn't matter how I'm going to win. Just matters to take the win.
Cafu here getting forward for Rickard. Player locked into R9, but that's a horrific touch.
Yeah. You can sense the nerves though from Rickard. If you watch the first, let's say 30 minutes of the game, the way he was building up, he was comfortable in possession. It just feels nervy. Like you can sense it. I'm sure Manu and Eddie will be sensing that as well, which is why they'll keep on prodding, keep on going forward.
Just taking that space. Lizarazu coming on. You've seen Umut here. That's coming up next versus Egman. Other side. Umut, other side if you want the camera. There you go. That's going to be a great game. Coming up in about 15 minutes time, give or take. A little bit scrappy. Mbappe gives the ball away. Ousmane Dembele back into Mbappe now. And Bonano has a chance out of that error from Rickard at the back. Not rushing it, going forward. Kroos, R9, extra pass to Ousmane Dembele. What a tackle.
Challenge. Wow.
That's why we talked about at the start of the day, Ryan.
No, your stuff, Richard.
Some say. The secondary featured matchup, Andoni versus Riptorek. Maybe a name that you didn't have on your bingo card coming into today's action. However, he was very good in the groups and deserves his place
100%.
in this knockout phase. Back to our featured game here. Rickard versus Bonano. It's hoisted up for Drogba, but Soulé just getting in the way and getting that 6'5" frame in front of Didier Drogba.
He's in. He's onside.
It's onside. Ousmane Dembele is in on goal for Bonano.
It's a heavy
touch. It's a scramble.
Oh my God.
He's just about stuck it in the back of the net.
He kept him on side with Cafu.
Yep. Thought the keeper was just about to get there. Does enough to keep possession. Couldn't get company across.
It's unlucky for Rickard, of course, how the goal ends, but I think he made his own mistake.
Big mistake. Big mistake.
He got punished for it.
The small margins.
Yeah. They're big on this stage.
Yeah. Small margins have big impact when it's the eChampions League, Europe's elite, going head-to-head.
I'm interested to see how Rickard will react to this. If he still has the belief to score another one. Because, of course, it's really hard for him mentally now, playing against a player defensively as good as Bonano, to still have that belief. But really interested to see.
As we approach half-time, it's only one additional minute for Rickard to get back into this game and, more importantly, regain his composure. That's great work from Cafu. His fault at the goal, however, he's looking to atone for his errors. Mbappe into Cruz, fired into Pedri. He'll get a corner, which could be a big chance. And maybe should be a big chance. Short, player locked into the box. Drogba. Donnarumma does well. I want to ask you, Manu, because you know Levy very well.
Yeah.
Surprisingly. I mean, you've been teammates for a long time. You should know him very well. The winner of this game plays against him.
Yeah.
Will he be watching somewhere? Will the team be watching this game, seeing how they're playing, or just kicking back today?
I think they're down at the player lounge watching this game. Of course, everyone wants to see what they're going to play against, and for sure there will be a more in-depth analysis tomorrow before he's going to play against either of them.
We've got a question there from Shay. How do you counter constant press?
Well, you need a bit of luck always, but yeah, in the end you still want to get the ball into your opponent's half and then keep the ball there, and don't make silly mistakes on your opponent's half and don't get countered.
Anything to add, Ryan?
I would say try not to turn back. I feel like that's something that I make that mistake as well. Once you turn back, you get punished. Sometimes just running into the space offensively helps a lot.
Well, we're about to get underway for our second half of extra time here. It is a cracker that we are witnessing here on the main stage. Rickard, 4-5. Real Yeti with a quick question before the action really picks up. How do you get your head back up after losing 3 quick goals?
Well, I did it last week because I was 3-0 up and then my opponent Fummer equalized to 3-3. But you have to recognize your errors and try to avoid them and still have the belief that you're going to score yourself.
Rickard, player locked to the back post. He faked it and now recycles to Ousmane Dembele. Modric looking for the first time pass. But Bonano will be happy to defend that all day long with plenty of orange shirts in the way, Ryan.
Yeah, exactly. Again, similar to something that I mentioned earlier on, it feels as if Rickard has an attack mapped out in his head, regardless of sort of adapting to the way Matias is defending. He's sort of playing
the patterns that he wants to play regardless.
Play.
I
think Mati also clocked onto that.
Yeah,
and
yeah, exactly. That's what helped him a lot.
Way less trouble defensively.
Lovely switch of play there from Bonano. And the time is slowly ticking away for Rickard if he wants to try and force something out of this game. He needs a goal right about now. Bonano looking to make it 6. Modric into Cruz. Now Ousmane Dembele, couple of step overs, it's green! And it's perfect from Bonano. What a comeback, Manu.
Incredible mentality from Matias to still believe after going 3-0 down. I think even after 3-0, he didn't even immediately have like a response. Normally you have maybe a kickoff, you immediately score.
Yeah.
He was still struggling, hit the post, but still kept his head up. And it wasn't even a late equalizer. He got it pretty early, even went up still, and to even recover from conceding that equalizer to now being 2 goals up is yeah, really impressive.
think he was down by 3. Again, spoke about seeing the best and the worst of Matias in a lot of stages. I just feel as if it's obviously difficult to say, but he just started very tentative. He felt maybe nerves or it impacting his performance a lot.
One thing though, tomorrow he won't be able to do that.
Yeah, against Levy, because you go 3-0 down against somebody like Levy, I'll be honest.
It'll be 7.
Yeah.
If you're not playing well, Levy will keep piling on that pressure. There's also just been a couple of mistakes from Rickard that Levy's not going to give you.
These moments, Manny, do you change formation? Do you change anything in game? You're keeping a 2-goal lead, 5 minutes or so left to play. What do you do?
Most times I switch formation, to a bit more of a defensive formation to give me more structure, a bit more of a wide formation to give me more options on the wing. Because if I lose the ball there, that's not really big of a problem. So,
chance here for Bonano to wrap this game up. Just holding the possession, no real urgency for Bonano.
This is what you do against constant press. Asking.
Yeah, he's a live example. Not that.
Not that.
Chance for Rickard to come forward. It's an offside trap, but Drogba's just going to get around the back. If he greens it across the goal, it's probably going to hit the back of the net. However, Donnarumma equal to the power shot.
He needs to score this corner to still have a chance.
Any sort of question, but I still think it's a little bit too late, even if he scores from here.
Whipped in, Drogba wins the header. What a save!
I think it just hit the keeper's head.
Can we see that again, please? We have to see that save again. I've got to see this for a second time.
Just straight off the keeper's head. Oh.
I would be fuming if that happened to me.
Yeah, sometimes it's just not your day, Rickard.
I'm asking the admin. Admin, can we have a look at that, please? What we have to tell you as well, Fummer and Danny Pitbull, it finished 10 minutes ago or so. Danny Pitbull knocks out the 4-time E-League champion. Danny Pitbull 6, Fummer 4. He was 3-0 down, Danny Pitbull. He came back into the game and took the result in the end. A great performance from the Juventus Desire player. He will go on to place Encante for a chance at the eChampions League finals tomorrow. Bonano in the final stages against Rickard. However, it is just too little too late for the Portuguese League champion. A valiant performance from Bonano will see him through. There's a lot of work still to do for Matias Bonano. However, he will progress into the next round with a fantastic performance.
He looks relieved.
I think that is it. I think sometimes in these games when you win, it's more so the relief rather than the excitement of advancing to the next stage, because he knows that was a game on paper. I think it's fair to say he was a clear favourite. Didn't start that way, of course. He was 3-0 down in about 50 minutes, but after that moment, I would say he dictated the remainder of the game and extra time as well.
Manu, for Rickard, do you have any words of encouragement? Obviously, you'll have been in tournaments before where you've been eliminated. What can he take out of this experience at the eChampions League?
I think he's shown great level to go 3-0 up. Also, of course, he didn't win the game, but it still shows how close he is to the top level, and for sure he has got moments in the future to prove himself and maybe be back at this stage.
Manu, it's been an absolute pleasure on the commentary position with you. Thank you for joining us. Good luck for tomorrow as well. Thanks. While Manu goes and gets ready to watch the next games, we're going to head over to the desk with Matias Bonano.
Thank you very much, you guys. Yeah, Matty, congratulations. You are through to the round of 16, our first extra time of the tournament. You made that pretty difficult for yourself, didn't you?
It was so difficult. 3-0 down, and after comeback.
What are you thinking at 3-0 down? Because, I mean, explain it.
I think in the first time my defense was terrible in the win, and after in the second time I changed something and I think was better.
Shall we look as well at a moment from that match? It was 90 minutes, 4-all. We thought you were going to make it 5-4. What happened? Was it the urgency? Was it the pressure? You tell us, Matty.
No. Because my pass was for Ronaldo, not for Dembele. And I think I was thinking Ronaldo and after Dembele. And the ball was for Dembele. So
How much of a part did Edu play in this? Because at 3-0 down, mentally you were out of it, and then I remember the first goal went, and I didn't hear anything from you, but from Edu it was a big, come on, let's go. Did he get you back in the zone?
I think it's so important because after 3-0 in the kickoff, sometimes I take the ball and I run. Edu told me, relax, chill, 3-0, but we have time, so it's so important.
He's a calming presence. What, though, does he tell you about the person you'll be taking on next? Levy, Rav was telling us the car journey when you were saying, what are these guys doing in the Dutch league? Levy's a different player altogether, isn't he?
Yeah, obviously Levy is one of the best in the world, and I need to improve for tomorrow because if I play how today, maybe I lose, but I don't know.
It's the eChampions League, Matias Bonano. What is it about this tournament? You just always seem to pull through somehow.
Yeah, it's a dream, eChampions League. I say in middle of the match, Mati, it's Champions League. Please, it's Champions League. 2 years ago, I lost the final, so I think it's the moment. It's the moment for a big tournament.
Unfinished business.
Yeah.
He's close. One step closer, Matty. We'll see you tomorrow. Congratulations. Well done. Right, guys, we're going to take a quick break right now. But on the other side, we get to see a former world champion. He's actually sitting just over there. But whilst we have a moment, we still have that Easter egg for you guys to guess as well. Last week, it was the Dutch League. What is it this week? Take a look. Right, we'll see you in a few minutes.
So I can start, okay?
Sou adepto do Benfica no futebol.
Sporting are the current champions of the league.
Foi nesta liga que o Diogo Jota começou a jogar futebol profissionalmente.
And I won the eSport League.
Welcome back, everybody. You're joining us at a stage where 4 players have already booked their spots into tomorrow's round of 16. 4 more still to be decided. One of those, Richard Buckley, is Riptorek. He's taking on Andoni. I think he's probably a little bit tired. He's got a story, hasn't he?
He certainly does. So he's got a full-time job. Yeah. He works in logistics. He was working yesterday. His work didn't let him have the day off to travel. So all the other players were here yesterday practicing. He finished work at 3 p.m. yesterday. He travelled 4 hours to the airport, and then he got into London this morning, I believe, at 3 a.m. He's had a little bit of a sleep, come around in the hotel, and the person behind him is his girlfriend.
I know, love that.
Brought along. If he wins the eChampions League, maybe look at a different line of employment.
I know. I wonder, though, if 3 p.m. actually was when work ended or they let him off early. I don't know. We'll have to ask him that after this matchup. So that's one of our featured matchup. The other is over there. Umut is up against Egman. Rich, they've been sat there for such a long time now, about 15 minutes because the other match went to extra time. How difficult is that?
I think there is a little bit of difficulty with it. Now it's time to lock into the moment, though. I think that's the big thing. I mean, Egman and his coach were watching the Matias Bonano game. They were reacting with us on the commentary. Umut was obviously having a little look at the camera. He was sort of getting himself ready, but I don't think there's any excuses. You know what to expect. You've also had a week to prepare for this individual game. Like, it's not like last week where you're playing loads. This is a one-and-done game.
Egman's also looking at you, probably going, hurry up, Rich, I want to get on with it. Right, with that in mind, we're going to pause the chat there. Obviously, he is playing Umut, and this is one trophy that he hasn't won, but he'll hoping to add it to his collection, won't he, come the 29th of May.
I'm Umut Gütekin, and I'm playing for Rebels Gaming. I think the German league is one of the best leagues in the world. It was really hard to reach the top 4, and I'm happy to be here. I lost against Johnny for the World Cup, of course. I would be really happy if I play him again in this tournament. I want to take my revenge. The eChampions League is one of the most special tournaments in the year, also for me, because I've never won the eChampions League. I'm a really emotional guy. I hate it to lose. I hate it really much to lose. I just want to win every game. I'm good in defense, I'm good in the attack. I can also adapt to other players. I won many tournaments, so I think I also have a good name. No player will be happy to play against me.
So, as you can see, Umut is getting prepared to match against Egman, and we're gonna have the chance to analyze a couple of attacks and defense of Umut in the last weekend. So, as you can see in this first clip, we're gonna see how Pirlo is attacking on the wing, and if we just stop the clip after this step over exit, you can see how probably Mbappe was to go and attack this space, but you know who's gonna be there to stop him? Sule. So you're gonna be thinking about attacking this space, but what about this space that could maybe open up there? That's what Umut does, and if you open up the clip, maybe he doesn't go for the shot, he goes for the extra pass to come R9. I mean, his understanding of the spaces and angles for me is out of this world, but his defense against Encante wasn't as good. And as you can see in this clip, Cafu's running by the byline, he's crossing it to Pedri, who knocks it down and scores a beautiful goal with R9. So the defense wasn't there, but in my opinion, the mental side of Umut wasn't there in this match. So you can see Umut is one of those players who gets a little bit frustrated when things aren't going his way, but that's why he has Coach Daniel beside him that probably will make it to, you know, concentrate in the match and try to win the match against Egman now, because at this moment, he has won the 1v1 World Championship, 2v2 World Championship. Now he has to win the ECL. Egman is there to stop him. Let's see what happens now.
When we are watching Umut play, you expect greatness.
Egman has been the surprise of this tournament. What a finish from Andoni. It's enough to send him through to the knockouts.
Riptorek, one step over, screen time!
Oh, what a finish.
Well done, the games keep coming quick and fast here with the eChampions League. You might be wondering who that giant is there. He's 6'7". How tall are you, Tom?
6 foot on a good day.
Yeah, I'm not 6 foot. Johnny, welcome back to the Champions League. You're in action tomorrow because this man has been unbeaten since the virtual Bundesliga, which he won. And on the way through, he also beat Umut there as well. We're going to be asking you many questions. You guys at home can ask him many questions as well in the Twitch chat live now. Johnny, how are you, my friend?
I'm fine. I'm very fine. I'm happy to be here and have tomorrow. I hope so I can win my game versus Tato Dilo. He won against Hezar.
It's going to be a tough game as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
He won 7 goals to 3. We want to ask you straight away about that man who's not that far away from us right now. You beat him on 2 different occasions in the virtual Bundesliga. Last year, in your come-up, in your sort of big breakout season, you stopped him from winning the title. And then this year, you beat him in the semi-final. I mean, so far on paper, you've got the results in your favour.
Yeah, I think because this year is a very important match for the World Cup. I won against him. But Umut is a world-class player. I think he wins this game against Egman.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've got our Umut here. I think he is one of the favourites in any tournament he plays, right? He's been at the very top now for maybe 4 years, and I expect big things from him here.
What's impressed you so much about Johnny, Tom? Because he's come through flying this year. He qualified for the World Championships. As we said, he played 16 games in the virtual Bundesliga for SC Paderborn. 1-14, drawn 2, and he's not lost since.
Yeah, it's outrageous. The level now, especially these days with how good the players are, for Johnny to be going undefeated in that. I remember in the World Championship last year, in the group stages, undefeated as well. And I remember us playing last year, how direct you are, how many different ways you can score. It's impressive.
Well, we're on to this one now. Umut looking to get us started early doors. 3 minutes in, he takes on Egman of Club Bruges, who has also been the surprise package too. Did Egman surprise you last week? Because he surprised me in that group, but obviously most of us expected Tex to get out of it. He got sort of Tex's spot, you could argue.
Yes, of course. The group Egman plays, the group was very good, and so third place is very good in this group. But it's so bad for him because today he plays with Umut, and Umut is a world-class player.
Yeah, congratulations getting out of the group. Here's Umut. Egman first chance.
And it's a perfect start for the Club Bruges man.
Surprise, surprise.
And this is the goal again on the replay. Tony Cruz finds the feet of Thierry Henry. It's that finesse that is enough to squeeze it past. 5.5 minutes in, Egman is really showing exactly what he's all about in the Champions League. As we said, made it through in that difficult Group A. The Group of Death, he called it. And for Umut right now, we saw it last week, Johnny. He gets quite animated, doesn't he, when it's not going well for him?
Yes, but I think he has the quality to come every second in the game. He can score a goal, so the game is not over. It's the 7th minute, so it's enough time to score many goals.
Here's a question coming in from Crossness for you, Johnny. Tom, maybe you can answer this as well. Who is the most underrated player or item on FC24 in this knockout stage? In your team, who's the most underrated player, would you say?
Well, I think it's Musiala, because he's my right back, and he's so good at offense, but not so good in defense, but I think it's a very good right back for me.
Musiala is your right back?
Yeah, of course.
What's he doing there?
It's very good in the offense, but Umut, it's a good spot now. He's so good in the offense, so he plays.
I like the way you think, Joe. I like the way you think. Attacking,
yeah. Johnny, have you got any play style pluses?
In real life?
Yeah.
I think every plus.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm glad you said it. You will not be missing a header anywhere on the pitch, would you? João Cancelo whips it in. We have a breakthrough over here. It's Rip Torek. He may have came in late last night from Poland, but he is very well rested. He told me he had a nice long 8-hour sleep, Tom, this morning before he came into the studio.
That's all you need.
Apparently so. He leads by a goal to nil. Rip Torek. I saw loads of love as well. Loads of Polish fans spurring their player on towards the back post. Egman is 2-0 up in 14 minutes. And it's not looking good for former world champion and 2-time eChampions League finalist Umut, who has got his back against the wall this early on. He's not going to be happy with João Cancelo there, Tom.
No, he should have won the tackle, and then once you allow that cross to come in, Drogba's winning it every single time. But what a great start for Egman. Saw similar early with Marley, actually. He went 2-0 up, and there was time to come back. So Umut, a lot of time left, but yeah, not how you want to start this game.
In these scenarios, Johnny, of 9-minute halves, you're 2 or 3-0 down. How important is it in your mind to be like, look, there is so much time left?
Yeah, of course. So 9 minutes is so long. You can score in 2 in-game minutes. You can score 3-4 goals. so it's nothing over. So Umut, it's a good chance, but I think he scored 2-3 goals in the next 20 minutes, I think.
I think we saw in that last round, Tom, didn't we? You can't write off anyone. Fummer, 3-0 up, he goes out. Matias Bonano, 3-0 down, he goes through.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of comebacks. I think just with the longer halves, players showing good mentality. You've got Henri here looking for a third. Egman.
I tell you what, Tom, Umut should be dragging João Cancelo off that pitch right now. 2 or 3 moments there. He has just not been at it.
We don't see it often, Brad. We could see a first half sub here.
Get Musiala in it right back, Johnny.
Yeah, of course. I think the most important thing in this 9 minutes half is the mentality. So you can, every single minute you can come back.
Well, Rip Torek finds a second over here with R9. What a start for him. And what a goal back this is for Umut over here. Timing is perfect.
Goals are flying in.
We see many goals in this game, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, Cancelo was involved in the build-up there. He sort of redeemed himself ever so slightly.
Yeah, I think Cancelo, one of them players, probably better in the attacking third, similar to your Musiala. I wouldn't trust him defensively. I think sometimes he's not strong enough, but that is what he is capable of. And yeah, it seems almost in these games you don't want to go 2-0 up. The amount of players that are throwing leads away, I think it might shift the mentality. We see Umut again here, looking dangerous. And we've actually got a question in the chat. How can we defend like Johnny? What's your tips? How many goals you concede in the groups? 2?
I think 3.
3, yeah. How do we defend like you?
I think it's the former is the key, the formation. So I play very defensively. So in the group stage, so not many goals I score, but I defeat 3 goals. So the formation is the key, I think.
And the formation 4-4-1-1.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Something different because we see a lot of 4-3-2-1.
I think all these players play 4-3-2-1.
Yeah, everyone. But I think that change of formation can mean a lot. We've got another question as well. How are you able to keep your players in position? Mine are always all over the place.
I think it's, I don't know, it's tough. So you go not use these players in the wrong positions.
Yeah.
So the left back stay on the left back, the right back stay on the right back. So
not to drag players out of position.
Yeah.
I think the other thing is second man press as well, right? If you second man press too much, your players will be all over the place. We could have a goal here, Brandon, for Andoni.
Could be a goal back. Pirlo looking for a cut back inside. It is. And it is Andrea Pirlo from centre mid. Let's pull the goal back for Andoni. Back to this one now. Cancelo wins that battle this time. Let's see.
A corner kick.
Where
Didier Drogba.
Could do from a corner. You know where it's going to end up, don't you? Didier Drogba being controlled. The keeper's been moved out. I mean, he put him in the right area there, Tom. He did get a hand on it. This is still very much alive, though. Jesus.
Very aggressive from Umut from the corner. How far his goalkeeper was out.
Tony Cruz intercepted eventually. In terms of your team, Johnny, coming into this week, have you changed anything from last week?
Yes, of course. R9 is for Henri in my striker position, because Henri scored no goal last week. So I did a change, and R9 is on my striker position.
Can you believe that, Tom? He had Henri in his team last week, and Henri didn't score a single goal.
No goals. Umut could score one here. Very, very close. But yeah, so you decided R9 over Henri. I guess you're not really using Henri's finesse too much. Try something different.
And Henri's finesse is so good, but I came in the spots to finesse with him.
Yeah.
So I think I play R9 because he's so fast. So I play many long balls, and with R9 it's so easy to score goals with him. It's because he's so fast.
Long ball over the top, finds R9 with a flick on him. It's slowly sort of finding his feet back in this one. Again, remember, 15 million coins squad here in the Champions League. 3 icons maximum. And these UCL items and heroes that you can only use. Get your questions still in. We have got Johnny Avessi Paderborn here in the eChampions League. We're also on the commentary for this game. A player that has played against him a handful of times. He's also in the knockout stages.
I think every player plays Drogba.
Mbappe around the corner. Andrea Pirlo with a couple of ball rolls. Still Pirlo with it, company left in no man's land. They're just in enough. It seems that there's so much dependence on Drogba though as well, because he's the only one that's offering that aerial presence.
Yeah, of course. He wouldn't. Oh, Drogba.
Speaking of Drogba, does he fancy a power shot? He does.
Drogba's so good in the air. So with a corner kick with Drogba.
Drogba.
Nearly right on cue there, right on cue. I think he's a menace as well because of the power shot, because he can win a corner from doing that. If you hit the power shot, it's always going to be a dangerous chance. You might go in, might be saved, goes out for a corner. And then obviously with his aerial, the way he is, Drogba's a man in every team. I think something to keep an eye out with Umut as well. The amount of triggering runs, always players on the run, always 3-4 options, and it pins Egman's defence back. You'll see whenever Umut switches it, you'll see 2 or 3 players triggered straight away, and then it'll pin the defence back and give him opportunity to create some space.
Good spot for Egman.
Knazu's turn. He can, Mbappe, one-on-one, squeeze into the near post. Just the extra second there, Tom, to have composure.
Might be my favourite goal from today, you know. Good, very good composure here. See it with the Berber spin cancel, and then that, just waiting for the goalkeeper movement. Made it look easy, because them situations can be difficult reading that keeper movement, but yeah, really well worked.
It's very good from Egman, the goal. So with the cancel before the shoot, it's very good.
Don't always see that cancel as well, the Berber cancel. Not many players using that, so yeah, very good goal there.
Egman is a very good offense player, I think.
Yeah.
Scored many goals in the group stage and scored 3 goals in 43 minutes.
Yeah,
against Umut, and Umut is a very good defense player.
Played him last year and I was 3-0 down very quickly as well. He can play.
Speak about Leeds being thrown away. Well, Andoni looks like he's also got another goal back. Pirlo to Drogba. 2-2 all square over in that game. These 9-minute halves are just throwing up so many crazy scorelines. Added time of 1 minute. Arnon finds Mbappe. It's company that stops him in his tracks. At the halfway point here, Egman leads by 3 goals to 1. I mean, still a lot of time left in this, Johnny.
Yeah, of course. Umut can score in every single minute. He can score so many goals. So I think we see many goals in the second half.
Question coming in from Cobby Smith for you, Johnny. If I want to play a 4-4-1-1 at home, do I have to have 2 centre mids that have got the long ball playstyle plus?
Yes, of course. This the 2 CMs, so must be have long ball. So I play Schweinsteiger and Kroos for this tournament. In the VBL, I play Schweinsteiger and Kimmich. So only long ball player only. And then long balls for of the Element. I
was going to say, it's no surprise that you're still using Schweinsteiger, because he was like one of your key players, wasn't he?
Yeah, of course. He was my key player in the VBL. So he plays also on the ETF.
One thing that's impressed me, Tom, as well about Johnny is that for about 3, 4, 5 months in Germany in the virtual Bundesliga, they've had to follow a really rigid squad restriction set of just German Bundesliga players, and he's come over to this tournament here with a completely different team, which we must say, you wouldn't say it's not top level teams, 15 million coin squads. Yes, you've got icons, but some of those Champions League items, they're not, you know, top level, are they? And he's adapted superbly well.
Yeah, it's always difficult, you know, building squads and changing players in this situation. And what do you prefer? Do you prefer the players here to the Bundesliga?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I think the players here are much better than.
Yeah, it must feel good to make the step up. Yeah, you know, like sometimes if you play at home, you play with a weaker team, and then you get some better players in. Feels good. So I can imagine it feels much easier than when playing in the Bundesliga.
As we said, his biggest change he's made this weekend. He said goodbye to Thierry Henry. He's brought in R9. There was a moment, I'm sure we'll try and get it for tomorrow's show. You missed a huge chance of Henry, and it was one of them. He went like that, Tom. He went, he's out.
You lose the trust in a player. He's gone.
He only missed 1 chance, Johnny, but he's gone.
I think R9 is so much better with 5 weak foot. So it's so important, the 5 weak foot.
Just the trust in the chances, the tight games, yeah. Sometimes you only get 1 chance, that has to be a goal.
Well, Johnny, thank you so much for joining us. We'll catch you tomorrow in the knockout stages. He will be in action tomorrow in the round of 16. Where, of course, he will be taking on Kurt Dilo. Do not miss that one as we come back from it to get himself the goal. Times it green. Pedri pulling Umut back into this tie.
Yeah, this is going to be a good half, Brandon. I can feel it. These 2 love scoring goals. Umut working it really well, right to left. Extra one-touch passes. They're the kind of goals I like to see.
And it's going to be a special half as well, because we've got Jaime Alvarez back in the booth as well. Gravison, you joined us at the perfect time. The goals are going in.
Yeah, I mean, you had the current champion of Virtual Bundesliga. Now you have me, sorry about that. But I guess we'll enjoy the second half.
Pirlo, Umut finding his feet and finding his confidence in the final third. Pedri punched into Drogba. One more inside to Mbappe. The played 5 minutes of the second half and he's already back square.
Tell you something about Umut that he swears by is it's a game of first touches. He always says how important the touch is, and you'll see his goal there. The little touch with the left foot sets it up perfectly. He is the master of that. I've been watching his games for years, and the way he always takes the right touch, whether it's back up from where it's come from or let it roll across his body the other way. We've got a goal for Rickard, ball roll around the keeper, and he's now 3-2 up. Drogba scores again. We're not surprised, are we?
No, not really, and especially this year with the effort touches coming from Umut, they're just too strong. So he works up the angle in a perfect way, and there's not much you can do defensively. Maybe not pull position players out of position like he did tackling with the fullback, but I mean it's hard because he just keeps the pressure so high. There's not much you can do.
What is going on over here, by the way? We just left it a second ago. Rip Torek times it green with Didier Drogba, who just not messes about with that one at all. 4-2.
I think you really need to stop the cross. You really should have emphasis on getting out to the player here. Umut potentially in a crossing position if his player can make it. Oh, just about. But yeah, these crosses, I think you really, the contesting, if your contesting is too late, you need to be trying to get at it and stop it from the byline there.
3-3, all square here. Remember, the winner of this game will go through to play against Mani Bashore. We could be in for a world champion v world champion matchup potentially. Unless Egman's got something to say about it, times it reds. And that's the difference sometimes.
I really like the way Egman uses the playstyles with the driven pass, now with the air plus.
Omri.
Oh. Yeah, that was the finesse. That was what I was talking about, but it's the way he really understands the playstyles, which, in my opinion, is the main key this year.
Yeah, for me, whenever I'm looking at a player, the first thing I look at is their playstyles now. You can have whatever stat you want. If you don't have the playstyles, I'm not interested.
Man, you had the king of the playstyles over here, Johnny. The understanding of the long ball pass, crazy.
R9, Pirlo, Cancelo. You saw the idea there, Tom, you were looking for as well.
You see them, you see what he's doing.
There's a cross that was lofted towards that post. We're going to a pause menu now.
Yeah, I had the pleasure to analyze that on halftime before this. It's just when you have the whip cross and then the air plus, I mean, if the cross is coming in, there's nothing you can do. So you could fall on the bait of trying to cover the pass to the midfield, but if you do that, the right back is going to just pretty much run, cross, and there's nothing you can do. So as you mentioned, Tom, you cannot allow the player to cross, because if he does that, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, you have to just, I think, main advice, do not pull out the fullback, don't let them go out, and then try and just get tight enough to make the cross difficult, even if you can't stop it, just to not have a free hit, because once the cross in the air, as we see here with Drogba,
you're doomed. There's nothing you can do.
You have to stop the cross.
And the question that these players are still trying to work out is, how do we stop the cross? That is a goal in 2 passes. Centre back to right back to Didier Drogba.
For me, the main thing is, if you tackle, if you go too aggressive, the dribbling is too good. So if you just dribble with the left stick for a bit, then the space opens for a cross. So you gotta be on it, but you cannot tackle. But the second you tackle, you'll concede a goal.
Yeah, I think it's about getting out there, but not fully sprinting, not going all the way, and just being disciplined when you get out there to not dive in, not sprint too fast and too hard and get caught out. It is an art. It's very, very hard to learn. Got Egman on an attack here.
Lofts it.
Or player lock, as he did now.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing. If the crosses come in and you can't get your goalkeeper out, to play a lock with your centre back so you can read the next pass. If you go from left centre back, press the sticks in and go to the right, and then go to the right centre back who'll be marking the pass. That's the next step to it.
But even if you do that, you have to pray that your player catches the ball, because he could maybe leave.
Toni Kroos to Thierry Henry. Times it green out for a corner again. You know where this is going to end up. Number 10 v number 11. Drogba against Drogba. You can just see Umut manually controlling it. It'll be Egman. They'll probably leave it like, there we go. Flicks onto him now. Oh!
Smart. Pretended to go to the near post and then knew it was going to fall there.
Quick one again to Drogba and Pirlo.
It fooled me.
Just about gets in the way. It's aggressive from Mbappe. Egman still in possession. 22 minutes left on the clock here. Winner goes through to play Manibishore tomorrow. In the round of 16, lofted in deep. More save with the head of Donnarumma. We're going to have to see that again on the replay. When possession does go, how on earth has Donnarumma got that? You're just playing with the gods there, aren't you?
Anything it takes. Anything it takes. Just hit him on the head.
What a guy.
I didn't know he had a save of head playstyle plus. He's did a few of those, hasn't he, today?
He's done very, very well with that. Sometimes that's what you need if you can't defend it.
Another goal here. Is it Rickard pulling away from this game? 65 minutes on the clock. It's gone out to Vincent Kompany. He's headed it away. Back to Kompany again. On the finesse from distance of Mbappe, who timed that one green. Rickard points to his head. He is potentially on his way to send his club, Jagiellona Białystok, into the round of 16. Remember, he got his spot here from the extra Klaza. In Poland. This is a big chance. Last 80 minutes, is it a chance for Henry to score? Ball roll, lofts it back in. There's Drogba! And there's a fourth for Club Brugge and Egman. 15 minutes away from the round of 16.
He meant that header. That is a power header if I've ever seen one. Look at that, straight in. Good composure as well, because Umut started to move the keeper. You think, are you going to shoot? Are you going to wait? And then he just sees the cross as the last option. Very well played there.
Wow. I was just going to say how he overcomplicated himself in a way, but if it works, and it's a goal, so...
Well, it isn't the first time that Egman's played the Champions League. He was involved just last year, but he was eliminated in the group stages. This season's been very different for him after winning the Belgium League to earn his spot here. Can he hold on for 15 minutes of pressure, which is going to be coming the way of
mistake
world champion in Umut? It could be in a running race here. Can he get the ball forward?
Offside?
Cafu is offside. Carlos coming in. Is the Mystery League Libertadores?
No, it's not.
It's not. Keep your guesses coming in.
This is big.
Cancelo looking to pull it back into this one. Into R9.
What a cancel!
Oh! Dropped the shoulder onto his left foot. Donnarumma again, proving to be the hero.
We talked about shot cancellation a couple of matches ago. Wow. Brilliant.
That is exactly how you use it there. Just time it right to the point they think you're going to shoot and then sell them a dream. Look at that, look. Think I'm going to shoot. No.
Oh.
So good. Deserved a goal.
Yeah, I think.
Ooh, hello. Drogba into Jesus!
Oh, yeah. We've heard that one.
We certainly have.
I love the passion. I love when the coaches shout. It's funny because sometimes the coaches shout more than the player. They're trying to hype them up. That is a great finish from Jesus. Bang. Hear that?
Heard the coach there at Club Brugge. That could be the goal to send them into a round of 16. Will there be one win away from coming back to the top 8?
He's catching his breath now.
Yeah, his second to reset off the celebrations like that. But his coach is very, very good. He's been coaching a few years now at the top level, and I think, you know, having these good coaches in your corner can go a long way because they do so much studying in the game. They do all the parts that the players don't want to do. You don't want to spend your time researching games for hours and hours. You just want to play, and then the coach will come with the right suggestions, the right ideas, and the game plan that Egman's got here is working very, very well.
Well, we have to remember, we're looking at a situation with the eChampions League. We're in our first knockout round. There are names, big names. We got very fortunate that one not to be a penalty, just about won the ball.
This is big. 7
minutes left. Umut needs to show what he's been working on the training ground. Drogba at the front post. Donnarumma, 2 hands on it.
Wow.
But what I wanted to say was, look, big names falling out of the eChampions League in our first knockout round. Hezar's out. Matias Bonano was nearly out. He survives. Fummer out of the competition. It could be Umut on his way out as well. A player that in his last 2 times in the Champions League, he's always made it to the top 8. He's never played anywhere or finished anywhere less.
Joe, it's about here, game management. It's game management this time of the game, because from here, Egman should win.
Oh.
It's what the best players can do every time. They manage the games perfectly. You've got to start using long ball passes. You've got to be triggering runs. I personally like to go forward like this. Get yourself out of the pressure, and if you can get another goal, perfect.
Ramirez, Drogba doesn't need to go forward again. That's aggressive from company, it had to be. But has he got the pass in his locker to open the door? Offside, that was the chance. Egman dealing with this pressure so well. He's finding the gaps in between all the press. Drogba to finish the tie! He's on a rampage! He made his way out of the group of death, some called it. And continues to be the surprise package here in the eChampions League. He will be on his way to a round of 16 to take on another world champion in Manibishore tomorrow.
And that is how you manage a game. You get another goal. I think it relieves all the pressure off you. Instead of worrying about keeping it at the back and going there, go for the goal, because now the game is done. He can sit back, relax, and look forward to his game against Manu tomorrow.
And as I mentioned before, Umut, 1v1 world champ, 2v2 world champ, but it seems like there is always a competition that is tough for a player, and it seems like it's ECL for Umut.
Yeah, you notice that sometimes. Players struggle in certain tournaments. It's difficult.
You can see how much it means to him as well. As I said, he's never not made it to the top 8, and you can just see how animated he is. I feel like it's the trophy that's been missing from his cabinet, isn't it? He's won the World Championship, he's won the German League. Unfortunately, that's a full-time result there. Let's jump over to this game where we are also approaching a full-time result, unless Andoni fancy sending us into an extra time, maybe.
No more passes.
That one is not done yet. This one is Club Brugge and Egman into the top 8. His best ever run in the eChampions League. He takes on Manibishore tomorrow. You won't want to miss that one. But let's jump back to this one, Gravison, because there is time and there is a chance.
You talk about game management when you're leading a goal. This is dangerous. Passing the ball in that position.
Yeah, I think it's much safer playing up here, because even if you lose the ball, I say the advice is lose the ball out wide as well. Gives them more time to recover. But yeah, keep it up. This is how you manage a game, not passing back there and the nonsense up there. Just get it up further at the pitch, please.
Oh, I don't think he's listening, Tom.
No.
I don't think he's listening. He might have just given a chance back to Andoni. Gives the possession away, not this area again. Not the quick throwing over here again.
Get me on the coaching duty, I would have had Get me in there, I would have told him.
And in time of 2 minutes now, Andoni off Atletico Madrid. One last roll of the dice if he wants to keep his eChampions League dream alive. Massive switch of play. Where's he looking? Look at Drogba at the back post. It will just start to queue up. Fancies a player lock. Does he keep it on? Ramirez does. We played the 2 minutes. Rip Torek hangs in the game and does enough to send himself into the top 16 in his first ever eChampions League knockouts. It was worth the 13-hour journey, wasn't it?
You're telling me this guy woke up today after working yesterday, got on a plane, came to London, did the job, and is going to the hotel to sleep now. I mean, that seems like a perfect day for me.
Some 48 hours for him. He'll be buzzing with that. Yeah, I mean, that is how you do it. Turn up, straight from work, win your game, say thanks for coming, I'm ready to go again tomorrow.
Well, this time last night he was travelling to the airport in Poland before arriving in London in the early hours of this morning. He does enough to go through. Andoni is out, Umut is out. Someone who else is through, though, is Egman, and he's joined by our very own Ryan Pessoa to talk through some of those key moments in that game, which does enough to send him into the round of 16 tomorrow.
Thanks, Brandon. Of course, joined by Egman. A huge win. You've come through Group A. I would say a lot of people would have expected you to maybe not even make it through to the knockout stages, but you played fantastically well against Umut, scoring a lot of goals. I just want to walk through this particular goal here. For me, it's one of my favourite, not just today, but from last week as well. It's your third goal in this game. As a clip plays on, it's sort of defence to attack within an instant. You play the ball into Gabriel Jesus, somebody we don't even see a lot of the time. The ball over the top here, and if I could stop it right here, is perfect. You've got a few options here. You could either take it in control, try and make sure that you can get a body across ahead of Cancelo and run towards the byline, or, as you went and done, you could play a direct pass into the on-rushing player in this position here. So what was going through your mind at this moment? Was it just to get the ball to the player in the box?
I know that Gabriel Jesus has the play style of first touch plus.
Yep.
So that's why I play him striker and Mbappe left center mid. So I can trigger Mbappe and play him in the feet. And that's what I did here. So R1X pass with Cafu into the feet of Gabriel Jesus. His first touch is always perfect. That's what the play style is for.
Yeah.
And then I can find the dribble and the shot or the pass to finish the chance.
Before I let this clip even play on, I want to ask a question in terms of your preparation. Do you have like a game plan going into it? Because you knew, of course, a week in advance you would have had to play Umut to advance to the next stage. Did you change anything or?
No, I played the exact same team as last week, only Henry in for R9. Yeah, the thing is, I'm creative in attack, so I know that I just have to get into these areas and then I can find something, and it's difficult to defend. So even against a great player like Umut, it works. So I just have to play my own game. Didn't really analyze Umut as much. Focused on my own gameplay and game plan. And it worked well.
I'm going to let this clip play on here. I don't even think I need to stop it and analyse it. We'll just see the magic unfold here. He gets the ball to Gabriel Jesus. The stop here, just a reverse pass after the triggered run. The cancel and then the shot at the near post was perfect. It was a great goal and a deserved victory in that game against Umut. I'm going to head it over to the desk where Rachel and Richard are waiting.
Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, Richard, possibly two underdogs going through there, taking out the likes of Andoni and Umut.
I think the Riptoric result very quickly is less of a surprise. Andoni not been great this year, but he still had to do the business, and he
still
did the
very
business.
Experienced.
Yeah, in a big way. Did Riptoric. He's now going to take on Emre Yilmaz, but the big shock of that round, Umut, former world champion. He's been to many eChampions League finals before. He will not be progressing. He crashes out of the tournament to Egman, and Egman now. You've just played the best game of your career. What do you get rewarded with? Yeah, Manu Bashir in the next round.
I mean, yeah, Manu Bashir there for Egman. And then on the other hand, Riptorek gets Emre Yilmaz, defending champion. I mean, they are absolute matchups. But you have to look, haven't you? If you take down, a former kind of world champion in the form of Egman, you've got to look at the current world champion and go, well, I've taken down one. Let's just go and try and get the reigning one too.
And it weren't lucky in any stretch. Like, he won pretty comfortably in the end. Umut got back into the game, and we were sort of all watching behind the scenes thinking Umut's now going to kick on. He's going to go and win this game, maybe 4-5-3. No, wasn't meant to be. Egman got in front and then went in front even further, really solidifies his position. And I think with Legend Frod behind him, a player who has been behind Zazinho and Olilito when they've gone on to win major tournaments, there's a good combination of coach and player there.
Yeah, the brilliant team, and Ryan obviously analysed the third goal in that matchup. Rich, you're going to break down the fourth now in the MasterCard moment of the match, which did come from Egman. Let's have a quick look at it now. He got 6 in the end. How different was it to goal number 3 we saw as well, Rich?
Yeah, I mean, this goal, it was sort of the nail in the coffin, really, and I actually thought he overplayed. I thought there was a shot across the goalkeeper there, and it's just that extra bit of composure, dinking it back into Drogba. If you green it across the keeper, you're probably maybe looking at an 80-85% chance of scoring. What he did, he solidified it to a 95-98% chance. Dinked it back across the box, Drogba with the header, and that was really the start of the next couple of goals where Egman just pulled away.
You say he didn't change anything up for one world champion, Umut. Does he have to change anything up for Manu Bashir tomorrow?
He'll be flying high. Why not? Just go and enjoy yourself. You got also playing Manu Bashir, who's not played a game since last weekend on this stage. So if Egman's going to do it, what a run that would be. Umut first, then Manu. Good luck to him.
Talking about flying high, should we go to Turkish Airlines and widen your world? One of our great sponsors, of course. And actually, we're going to go for a break whilst you watch this, because this week the players got a bit of an education of one of the greatest cities in the world, my hometown, London City, and their transport network. Have a look at this.
Name? No, one I think. Wembley Station.
My favorite line is Elizabeth line. It's clean and it's very comfortable.
Stations?
There's so many.
I know St. Pancras Station.
But I always walking, I never use the subway, I don't know.
I love all the stations.
É a minha segunda vez em Londres e nunca tive a oportunidade de andar de metro.
Westminster, Leamington Spa, Shepherd's Bush, Elephant and Castle, Stratford.
Well, welcome back then to the eChampions League knockouts. The final set of fixtures coming your way. 4 players, 2 spots in the round of 16 left up for grabs. And one of those looking for that, Tom, will be Rowie Felman. He's up next. He's a tricky player, isn't he? You know all too well.
Yeah, I've played Felman many a times over the years. I remember in 19, he actually knocked me out in one of the biggest tournaments of playoffs. So I'm familiar with Felman's game, and he's a very tricky player. He always plays well in this tournament as well.
Are you friends now?
Yeah, still friends. Forgiving him for it.
You're going to break down why he's so tricky as well in a couple of clips from last week.
Yeah, I wanted to highlight the way he can score out of nothing, really, similar to what he did to me in 19, and we have the clip here. So he's got the ball with Mbappe. We just stop it here a second, you'll see he's very good at crossing. Crossing is what his speciality is. And he's coming in here and he's looking for Drogba. We've seen Drogba all tournament long running riot. Now, what I am impressed with, if we can just bring it forward to when Drogba's going to win the header, he has 2 options here. If we just stop it there, we have one. I think a lot of people might take this one. Yep, let me just get my first time on the board. You see, a lot of people would shoot from there, right? The next level to this crossing stuff that we're seeing is actually the pass. You see, it opens it up to... Let me get this arrow back.
Faulty screen, Tom, it's not you.
Here's what it is. We know where the pass is going. It's to R9 just there. And then when we play it through, he plays it through to R9 and it has an open goal. But yeah, it's very impressive because it's out of nothing. You don't really expect it when it's there. Quick cross and he always scores. The second goal I want to highlight is actually how direct he is. from the long pass through balls as well. We see Cruz this year talking of the importance of play styles. He's got the long ball pass. And as I say, Felman can create out of nothing. You think you're safe, and then all of a sudden, he's got you going. So let me try on these lines instead.
Right.
So you see, he's triggered 2 runs. This is really, really difficult to mark. He has one here with Haaland, one with Drogba, knowing that Toni Kroos has got the long ball pass play style, because as soon as you trigger these 2 runs, it's what I spoke about with Johnny on the desk. As soon as you trigger these, you've got options each side. We play it forward, and he's going to use the Kroos one because, look, he's actually kept on side from the other run and the ball into the box, and it's a nice finish, but it all comes from the way he triggers. I think Felman's strength is how direct he is and how he can just score out of nothing. Doesn't need too many passes to build up. He's just straight there, and he's effective. That's what I'd call it, very effective.
He's so experienced as well as a player. He's taking on Luca Negua. I mean, Roy Feltman's been in this situation before. How difficult is he going to make things for Luca Negua?
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I don't enjoy playing against Felman. He's an experienced player. He knows he'll keep you in a tight game at all times. He knows all the little ways to score, and yeah, I think he's going to go through here. He's my favourite.
Favourite there, ISO Power Di Fernandez, the other matchup. Who's going through on that one?
I'm going to go ISO Power.
I love putting him under pressure. ISO Power then, and Roy Feltman is what Tom Lee says. This is your final round of fixtures. Enjoy.
Luca Negua is through to those eChampions League knockout stages. Robbie Felman back into the knockout stages again in his 3rd eChampions League.
ISO Power is 2-0 up inside like 6 minutes.
Di Fernandez is proving exactly why he's done enough to get to the knockout.
Well, for one final time here on this beautiful Saturday, we go to battle at the eChampions League. Our top 16 is almost there, but until we can kick off tomorrow's games, we've got 2 matches remaining. An experienced player in our featured game in Roy Felman up against a young buck in Luca Negua. What can we expect to see, Grav, in this particular matchup?
Against Luca Negua in the group stage, and he told me he was the best player he played all season long, which surprises me because he played against Johnny as well.
Yep, in that group.
So you could potentially say Johnny is the favorite to win the whole thing, but Rickard was surprised in the way Luca Negua played. His offense was strong, his game management was strong as well, and he was so imaginative inside the box. On the other side, Felman, I mean, Tom explained it perfectly. He understands management of the pitch in general, and the thing with Roy Felman is he can build it really slow with possession and everything, but in the moment he sees the passes, he doesn't think too much.
The one thing I will say as well about Roy Felman, I had the opportunity to watch him in 2022 at the Champions League finals, and he does not care one bit on how he wins the game. I think he kept possession for about 75 minutes because the opponent that he was playing didn't have the correct tactics set up, and he just kept the ball. I saw a few people sort of saying a bit online, saying that he's playing boring or he's not attacking.
Doesn't matter.
He's through to the next round.
Got the win.
See how he qualified for the eChampions League. It was through the real-life performances from Borussia Dortmund. However, he has played really, really well up to this point. He was in the same group with Emre Yilmaz and Matias Bonano alongside Virgil from the E-Serie A, a player who also played with Luca. Picked up 6 points in the group. And then on the other side of it, Luca did struggle in his groups. He only got 5 points out of a possible 12, losing 3-1 to Johnny and picking up 2 draws. This is ISO Power. They've kicked off, and Andrea Pirlo,
offside,
wasting no time. However, the linesman did put his flag up, so it will be chalked out.
If we talk about this game, ISO Power is currently surprising everyone, not because of the way he plays, because he's been playing for so long, but the level he's playing at, because he's been playing for, I'll say, what, 5 years now, 6 years now?
Sort of in, I think, back end of 2018.
Yeah, and I mean, he's here, and not only here, he's here playing well. Yeah. I mean, you commentated the match against PH, 2-0. He started really well, and he can do that against Di Fernandez, because in my opinion, Di Fernandez is playing well, but he's competing better. I don't think the gameplay is really...
I think what we've seen from Di Fernandez, FC Pro La Liga Cup, FC Pro La Liga finals. He got to the semi-finals on both occasions, but nobody in Spain, whether it was in San Sebastian for the Cup or in Barcelona, said that he was going to go on and win the event. And he had that ceiling on him.
And when he played Neat or Nicolo,
It was a convincing victory as Felman, maybe as expected, goes 1-0 up in the early stages.
I'm sure Tom is somewhere just telling Luca, I told you he's going to cross, and he did that. Cross into R9, 1-0. I mean, it was Tom who was playing it. The Felman is a master at crossing. He understands the angles, the spaces in a really good way, and he didn't take long. 5 minutes, I think.
Yeah, there's also been a goal between ISO Power and Di Fernandez coming from the corner, recycled to the edge of the box. Toni Kroos waiting for the run of Pedri, who drifts past the defender. No doubt about that finish as Di Fernandez goes 1-0 up versus ISO Power.
The extra touch with Pedri was what mattered really, because when he did that, there was no response from the goalkeeper.
You might be wondering, there's so many players that I know about. Anders Vergan, where's he at? Well, he lost against Levi Finn, who the winner of this game will play in the next round. You also think of an Italian player, Oberon. Where's he at? Luca beat him 7-1 to qualify.
Well, for example, you would think, where's Tex? Well, actually, the player that eliminated Tex was Nit, and Nit is waiting
for the winner of ISO Power and Di Fernandez.
So yeah, I mean, big names going out, and this is basically the ECL. I mean, the best players in the world competing against each other, and obviously people are gonna get dropped out.
Yeah, absolutely. Just as we saw in shocking scenes on the main stage, Umut moments ago eliminated from the eChampions League. And look, I think that's a good indication that you've got your favourites for tomorrow. Emre Yilmaz, Manu Bashar, PH, Zayn, Neat, Levi David, Johnny. One of those big names, maybe even a couple, will fall.
For sure.
It's not going to be as simple as all the players who progressed into the round of 16 all go through. That will not happen. It's a Richard Bucky promise as Di Fernandez comes forward. This is Mbappe recycling the ball to Toni Kroos. Lovely pass to Cruyff. Quite interestingly.
Yeah.
And 2-0, Di Fernandez leads in that matchup.
Curious, I mean, I remember in La Liga FC Pro he was using Stoikov, which was a weird pick in a way. Now he's using Cruyff. He likes those picks, and I mean, they work out well for him because he's here and he's leading the game, 2-0.
Offside trap played there from Luca, not allowing the space down the line for Roy Felman to progress into. Pirlo just running out of pitch on this near side.
Yeah, that's a beautiful build-up.
Whoa! What a pass that is. From defence into attack in the blink of an eye. R9 puts Luca back level.
You could say Felman got Felman in a way, because, I mean, not only the pass with Guardiola, which was manual, I gotta say, but then the cross into R9 with a playstyle plus, and a beautiful finish by R9.
You saw that a lot during the Serie A, fullback to fullback with that full manual pass. It just so, the success rate on it is crazy high. And not often do you get a bounce like that where it goes all the way through. But clearly Luca knows what he wants from that pass, and he wouldn't be queuing it up.
I got a good anecdote with this. Iago, the Argentinian guy, told me, you have to put full max power, because if you do it, there's no way the ball goes off the pitch. Tried it, went off the pitch, never did it again.
And that's why you're in the commentary booth.
And that's why you cannot trust Iago.
Just going to see if he's going to do it again here. Company playing the pass into Pedri. Nice player lock, and then that scooped over the top to bring Gvardiol into play. Drogba is waiting at the back post. He will win it, head it down. Good save.
Now the corner, the pass gets in.
You're starting to see Luca just ticking over ever so slightly. And if there's one thing I know about Luca after watching him in the E-Serie A, corners are incredible with him, as ISO Power looks to have got a goal back here, dinked into Drogba. Mbappe with the left-footed strike. Quite a nice finish, that, to be honest.
And with the left foot, was it? Yeah. That's surprising, but again, Mbappe's a really nice item, and the stats, the finishing stats are high up. I'm curious because I think both games are similar in a way. You have Iso Power and Felman, players who have been competing since 2019, 18, but they are still really good at the moment. And now you have the youngsters, as Di Fernandez, as Loconego. I think Loconego was, what, 16, 17? Di Fernandez is 18 at the moment, qualified for the World Championship last year. And it seems like old school against new school.
Let's have a look at this corner then. R9 over it.
Which way is it going? Tell me, Rich. You're...
The Drogba, I imagine, just fired into the near post is what I'm going to go for. It's not. It's played to the back. It's floated.
Oh, what? Sule, what are you doing?
Sule got tackled by a ghost. He's that big as well. He went down in stages. So look at that. At the top side of the pitch, there could have been a long ball over the top. However, Felman just slowing it down as we expected he would.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you expect from Felman. The thing is that the second...
No rush.
No, never. And the second he gets the ball into a dangerous position, he'll rush, for sure. Like this.
Now it's going to be quick.
He doesn't think about it too much. I mean, he just goes for it. And I really like the way you mentioned how he doesn't care about really the opinion of, you know, maybe people watching at home, maybe other competitors. If he feels like there's a way to win matches,
he will do it.
He'll do it. Obviously, we don't mean this like in a disrespectful way, because it's not nothing. Whoa, what a scream. What happened there?
We'll tell you what happens very shortly indeed, as Luca comes forward into the box. That's dinked into an area that Toni Kroos is simply too strong in. Di Fernandez, lovely McGeady cancel, recycled to the edge of the box. Kroos into Pedri, Pedri into Drogba.
Beautiful
Di Fernandez re-establishes that 2-goal lead.
Yeah. And a beautiful Vamos. We've not seen that from Di Fernandez in a while. This is big.
Drogba's not in that area where you want him, though. He's not in the back post. He's creating for R9. Donnarumma with a good save as the play locks come out to clear the lines.
And another scream, but this time from the other end, because as we can see, Musiala is running. He finds Drogba with the player lock, and oh, I thought he was, yeah, I thought he was going to direct it into the back of the net, but no. He found the extra pass, and Iso Power is still alive in the match. 2-3.
And what you might have missed in the bottom corner is a chance coming in for Luca Negua, and a corner is given. He went to the back post on the last corner. Does he go to the back again, or is it into the front area?
Front?
Whipped into the front post. Drogba wins it. On the rebounds, you would imagine he gets there. Donnarumma back up on his feet quickly.
Yeah, Felman is going to take a breath now.
That's 2 corners where he's created a chance from both corners. One to the back post. Maybe feels a little bit hard done by not to get a chance, and that one with a shot on target.
Do you think the third one's going in? I think it is.
I'm going to be critical. I think if he starts greening those headers, it's hard to do, but if he can start greening the header at the near post, I think it's a guaranteed goal.
Now it's a tough position to defend, because he went first post, second post. Now what do you expect? Player lock maybe coming in?
Protect the short, player lock into the front post maybe.
And that's the hardest thing as a competitor. When your opponent knows so many different set pieces, you don't really know what to defend anymore. Nah, I think sometimes you just random cross it to expect for something to happen. This is what Felman did, but didn't work out this time.
Approaching half-time between Luca and Felman. There has been a third goal, and it's Iso Power from the corner, whipped into Drogba, keeper nowhere to be seen, and that's a green-timed header from the corner, which results in the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, that's what you talk about. Sometimes you need to green it, and it's not really hard to do, really, especially coming in a set piece or a corner, because you know the timing is going to be there. For me, it's definitely harder in a 1v1 situation with the keeper. You don't have much space, and you have to green time it. That's harder than a corner, because corner, the timing is going to be similar, really, lots of times. Luca is just passing the ball to Mbappe. He's going to pass it again to Pirlo, and this is potentially a big chance. There's a cross. He's getting Drogba. Oh! Oof.
We've had some big surprises today at Gravison. Let us know what your at-home surprise of the day has been. Is it Hezar's being eliminated versus Kurt Adilo, a former runner-up to the eChampions League only 12 months ago? Is it Fummer, a 4-time E-League champion, crashing out of the competition? Or is it RB Leipzig's Umut, a favourite in many people's eyes, no longer in the tournament? Let us know at home. And do you think we'll see any surprises tomorrow as well? Any bold predictions? Get them in the chat right now at home, and we will be reading them out. Whether it's you think PH might go out, or even Emre Yilmaz doesn't go on to defend his title. That's a huge tackle from Vincent Kompany.
Yeah. Maybe the anticipation coming in from Kompany. Place time, I mean. And this is going to be quick pass taken into Cruyff. Cruyff is quick.
Yeah, he's really quick off the mark. Mbappe now brought into play. Cuts it back for Xavi Simons, who puts Di Fernandez back in front.
Xavi Simons may be a player we didn't expect to score a goal, but what works, works. As we can see, the build-up coming in from Cruyff. The pass is really good because the passing stats from Cruyff are way better than R9. And then the first touch was from Xavi Simons. Yeah, you cut me off. Thank you so much.
It's a great finish from Xavi Simons.
And obviously, if we have Felman at the building playing, we have to have someone on commentary who knows him too much.
I'm back.
Hello, Tom.
Back in the game. What a game this has been as well. 4-3. Di Fernandez playing very, very well.
Yeah, quite sort of surprising, really, because I think ISO Power came into this game in particular in a good vein of form. Di Fernandez picking up 7 points, ISO Power with 6. That's a great finish to put ISO Power back into this game. 4-4 the scoreline right now. If you're wondering where Luca and Felman have gone, they're just not kicked off for the second half yet. They'll be taking that full 90 seconds allotted that they have. It was Pirlo with a great finish past the keeper.
Yeah, we talk about patterns all the time with Tom, and again, this is the second exactly goal from ISO Power, because in that position, when you knock it down, it really comes to a 50-50 situation in which, where's the first touch going to go? One side, the other side. If you defend one and you're right, you're going to be able to tackle it. If you're not, it's going to be tough because it's going to be a clear shot.
Yeah, I think some players like to gamble on that chips pass. I'm sometimes not a fan of it because I feel like it's not 100%. Sometimes they'll win the header, sometimes they won't. But it's what we mentioned about patterns earlier. If you're comfortable with that, that's what you do, you'll find a way to make it work.
Sometimes you'll live life on the edge.
You have, but
have a little gamble and see what you can get, because you might win the jackpot.
This really seemed a mistake.
I think he kept the ball from half-time, Felman. Not really seen Luca get a chance to be on the ball. Pedri wins that little second bounce, going FC Torino's way. And now giving Felman a taste of his own medicine, just keeping the ball around the back. Nice little play lock into Mbappe, and he wants a free kick. Tapping L2 and R2. If you just bang this top bins, I'll be so impressed.
No. Taking short.
Long pass to Drogba, I think. Yeah, there was a run there.
Really worthwhile.
Yeah, I mean, he's tried a set-piece routine. Maybe you should listen to you, Richard. Just go for goal from there. Why not?
I mean, if you get decent at free kicks, I feel like it maybe not that far out, but you're also guaranteed to pretty much get a corner if it's on target. And you know what corners can do for you. Di Fernandez whipping to the back post. Drogba there. Nods it into an empty net. The goalkeeper taken completely out of the equation as we join this game back with the ball slowly but surely trickling across the 6-yard box.
I want to ask you, Tom, Felman is really good at cutting back and just running by the byline. Do you think there's a possible answer to that when you're defending?
It's such a tough skill because it's a guessing game of when are you going to stop running to the byline and when are you going to come back, or are you going to go all the way? It's one of the guessing games I feel like I always play in pro games. Constantly thinking, all right, you're coming back now, surely you're going to reset. Oh no, he's not, he's walking. Yeah, the byline people that can do it at the top level, so hard to mark, so hard.
Cruz selected, Drogba player locked, Mbappe extra pass, lovely build-up play between Pirlo and Mbappe. Borrell scoop turn, it's messy, but Donnarumma gets his hands onto it.
I just want to say, Richard, it's funny watching players from certain leagues and the way they play. You see people in the Italian league, the Serie A, a lot of player locks used, direct, a lot of stuff like that. And then you look at the way Fernandes was playing in the ePortugal, and it's the way it is, goes to the hug sideline quite a lot, goes out wide, and then walks his way in, like very slow, methodical, and you're waiting for him to do something. People, you see a lot of different play styles, different ways of playing.
I asked a few questions about the surprise of the day. Oh, just wide of the post, the corner is given. Fummer was a big surprise getting eliminated, I agree, start the kid. As also Egman, and that's up for a good defensive header. Egman and Umut, both their respective results, a win for Egman and a loss for Umut. And Terry Tibbs, right now, saying Hezar's getting hammered.
I mean, that's way too tough on Hezar, but he did get hammered in a way.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
7-3.
The use of the player lock again, so hard. How many players can you mark at once? Yeah, what one do you choose? Do you put pressure on the ball? Do you track the run?
He's had 2 corners so far. One to the back post, created a chance. One to the front post, created a chance. What does Luca have up the sleeve? This time it's into Drogba. It's flicked in, and he's agonisingly all wide. And Felman didn't even flinch.
Again, the time finishing.
If that's green, does it go in?
I think it goes. I think it goes in. But it was white, and that's a mistake.
That's a good read from Luca as well. He pulled Drogba into that position. Just going to see the ball once again recycled.
Nice pass.
R9, left-footed strike. He waited, Tom. He bided his time. And Luca is in front for the first time in this matchup.
We've seen that player lock used effectively today. Look, you see, as he gets it, just moves the player slightly, and then he's moved already just because of that player lock from earlier. And I think we've seen it quite a lot with the left forward and right forward make that nice run between the centre-back and full-back. And if you can find that pass, it's all about timing, you're in.
I mean, this was a similar goal scored by Dilo a while ago, that match against Hezar.
Di Fernandez, 5-4 up. This is live action right now, 20 minutes left to play. As the La Liga FC Pro semi-finalist looks to go one step further. It's a nice little ball over the top if he decided to play it, but just taking his time. Henry with the space. Drogba is there.
Nope.
Just falls into Donnarumma's hands.
And talking about the goal that was conceded by Felman, I really feel like Felman is not a player that does those mistakes of switching out the play with the fullback not in position. But again, these things can happen when you're competing. That's what maybe the people at home, maybe we commentators are a bit too critical in situations that could happen to any of us.
Mbappe,
whoa, what a tackle.
Vincent Kompany, he's already got a statue at the Etihad. Di Fernandez is going to knock it down.
Wow, what a tackle.
What a tackle that is.
Crazy.
Not in my box, no way.
Drogba floated into Musiala. Pirlo with a lot in front of him, and just ISO power once again hitting that switch of play. Cancelo has a whip in the locker. Toni Kroos floating it in. Henry with the strike, it's red timed, and it will trickle out of play.
I was going to say, surely not 3 times. I mean, it was the same situation generated before. And now Felman. Do you think like Felman is a good constant press player?
I think he prefers to be in the lead in this situation, so we have to see what he's got. I mean, what do you do in the 68th? Do you think it's too early, or do you think now's the time you throw the kitchen sink?
9 minutes, you got so much time.
Yeah.
I think it's too early.
Especially if he scores from this chance. There'll be no change. R9, what a save. Donnarumma, by the way. Big plaudits.
We need a conversation. He's turning up.
He has been unbelievable. What do you see, Grav?
First post, it's opened.
He pulls Drogba into
it. Maybe back now, if you can go to the back.
He's gone to the front, now he's running around the back. Playing tag with a goalie.
That's interesting. he pulled it out way too much, but then you start thinking about what you do.
Yeah, it's guessing game with the goalkeeper.
We always talk about it. Surely he's offside.
Yeah.
We always talk about the corners. The longer you take, the less chance of scoring. If you can get that corner whipped in straight away before the goalkeeper's really got a chance to be moved, then you're looking at high success rates.
Yeah, especially the way Nacho or Mati do them. I mean, you played against Mati. Is it possible to defend when they're that quick?
If you're alert, yes, but you have to be so switched on all the time. Like I remember actually talking to myself saying, corner, be ready, like straight away.
R9 linking in with Pedri. Cruz floated out wide. And a recycle of possession from Luca. How many times do you... We'll see his chance here coming in from Di Fernandez. You heard the roar. What on earth is this goal? It's good dribbling from Di Fernandez after a couple of errors at the back on both parts, Di Fernandez and Iso Power. As I'm just going to turn your attention to the bottom right corner. How often do you get that chance? For example, just a shot at goal. You concede a corner, and then 9 times out of 10, you're going to grab a drink of water, you're going to turn around to your coach, maybe for half a second.
Yeah.
You can't take your eyes off the screen, because if that player can whip the corner in for straight away, you're going to be in danger.
That's the time to lean forward. Yeah. When they get a corner, you sit forward and you focus like you've never done before. I mean, free kick here as well. It'll be interesting to see if you can use these, because these aren't used as much.
Drogba is about to sprint into this box.
We sold him a dummy.
It's good.
Giving him a little 1-2 there. You see that, pretending the near post and jump to the back post.
Left, right, good night.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
The thing is, competing back in 2020-21, you couldn't skip the replays. So it was like a really good time to just catch a little breath, maybe drink a little water, but now you can skip them. So, for example, when you're competing, do you have to just bring yourself back? Because, I don't know, maybe you used to just, when the ball went out, it was like a little chance for a breath because the replays couldn't be skipped. And now you have to be locked in every single time.
Yeah, always adapting. Little things like that make a big change. See a player lock here. He's going to nod it down. He is.
Oh, big save. Once again, Drogba.
It's Donnarumma in goal.
He is.
I think he's waited too long for this.
Also, Felman's not moved the keeper that much.
Back post.
I think the near post is there. He's gone to the back. Drogba's up. Luco and his corners.
Don't ever come at the corner king. You know how it goes, Rickard. He's done it again. He did it last week. He's done it this week. And in these tight games, it can make all the difference. The bit I like about that is the back post one.
Yep.
We saw a couple near post, no success. Back post, goal.
You can't defend that, Grav. Especially, he didn't move his keeper that much. Even if it goes to the back post and you pulled him aggressively towards the front, there's a good chance that he might jump up and palm it or grab it. I just don't think there was enough on it.
For me, the main thing is comparing the way both corners went. We can just talk about this in a minute, because
I think this is Iso Power getting a chance. Mbappe, lovely dribbling from Iso Power.
What is that? That's a goal.
It's a goal.
That is a goal.
It's gone in. We've still got a game here. 5 to go.
Forward over the top. Di Fernandez. Mbappe, he's going to be direct. He's going to drive. Vincent Kompany just leans on him.
Give us some late drama, go on. Give us some late drama in one of these games.
Di Fernandez. You can see that clock ticking in the top left corner. But a 7th goal puts him clear into clear air. However, Iso Power is not allowing it. I think both games in a pause right now. Roy Felman's currently got his headset off. He looks pretty devastated.
Devastated. He looks defeated in a way, but still there's time.
Iso Power making changes. There is Roy Felman. Yeah, it's been a strange game, this one, Tom.
Yeah, and it comes down to tight margins. When you're not playing well, what can you do to win the game? I think that's what the best players do. They find a way. Their plan B, their 70% is good enough sometimes, and that's what
especially
you need.
Because Felman is one of those players that like to play in those tight margins.
And typically wins them.
Yeah, so when it doesn't go your way, do you have a plan B, plan C? Doesn't seem like it at the moment.
Manu
He's rushing too much.
Manu, on commentary, said it perfectly earlier. Tight margins, but with big impact.
Yeah, definitely. these tight games, Luca would know before starting this game.
What are you going to get?
I'm not going to beat Felman 6-0 here. I'm going to be needed to step up in the tightest margins when it's small like that, and that's what he's done.
Donnarumma with a fantastic save. Frustration from Feldman. He knows that was a huge chance to get back into this tie. João Cancelo nods it home to Donnarumma. Turn your attention to the right-hand side because ISO Power is coming forward. Di Fernandez wins the header, but Toni Kroos wanted to keep the pressure on. That's a great exit ball. And if Drogba can get there, which he cannot get away from Pirlo. Left-hand side of your screen, Felman having to defend again from Luca. This could be a fourth. This could be game, set, match for the Italian, who rolls into the next round. He'll be looking with his target set at Levi Finn from RB Leipzig.
And the other match?
Let's see the final stages here between Di Fernandez and ISO Power.
This is it, this is GG.
Di Fernandez squeaks through in the most narrow game. 6-5, it was all the way through that game. You score, I score, you score, I score. But Di Fernandez pulls through in the end, Tom.
I hope no one was onto my predictions earlier. I'm sure I said at the board that I went 0 for 2 there. Both of my predictions wrong, but
it happens to the best of us. Don't
very
worry,
well played, I think, Di Fernandez. I mean, them tight games, the 6-5s, to hold your nerve like that, he's done very well. And Luca here just run away with it at the end.
We didn't see the best performance from Luca in the groups. He drew against Rickard, he drew against Kosu, he lost against Johnny. He went into the final game of the group needing to beat. And he did. 1-0 win. Big game. Final match of the day. And I think when you look at his performances, I don't think people would have picked him. You didn't in this particular matchup, and because he didn't show us too much at the groups. Felman knows it's game over. He is recited to another eChampions League defeat in a brutal fashion, as Luca from Torino will go into the next round.
Could this be a passing of the torch with Umut being eliminated, former top 8, Hezar, runner-up, eliminated as well, Felman, Andoni.
Don't say that, Grab. I'll be way out as well.
You're already on the commentary position. Basically had the resignation. Incredible stuff. Luca with a few brilliant set pieces and resolute defence. Simply too strong for Robbie Felman. But the man from Borussia Dortmund will crash out of the tournament. It's been a great day here. I mean, 2 Italians going through, Danny Pitbull and Luca. There has been some big surprises today. Final thoughts, Tom, from the 2 games that we've just seen. Felman going home, and ISO Power and Di Fernandez having an absolute cracker.
Yeah, I think big credit to Luca, because as I mentioned, he would have known that game was going to be tight. He knew that he'd have to have the small things. You're not going to get the goals you want against Felman. Okay, what can I do as my plan B? Can I score corners? Can I get some more effective goals where I don't have to play that well to do it? And Joel's, me and Grant have been talking about all day, timing, when you score, how you do things. That 3rd goal, perfect time to win the game.
Grant, Di Fernandez, 2 performances in the domestic league, 1 at the cup, 1 at the league, 2 semi-finals. Does he have the game to go further this time around?
This is what I wanted to talk about. Di Fernandez got eliminated in the cup against NIT, the guy who's playing tomorrow against. So let's see what happens. We have a La Liga derby, we could say, happening tomorrow. Yeah. So one of them is going to be alive. He's going to be the only player competing for La Liga FC Pro alive in the competition. So let's see what happens. Let's see if Di Fernandez can take his revenge.
I think you just saw PhD in the background as well. What's been so good today, we've had all these fantastic games, and you've just got looming tomorrow. Johnny, Manu Beshaw, Emre Yilmaz, PhD. The big dogs are coming to play tomorrow, but I think they'll also be very worried that today hasn't gone to plan for a few of our biggest names in the scene. Brandon, Rachel, it's been a fantastic day. What you made of it? Oh, Ryan, over to you.
Absolutely excellent. But we're actually going to throw it over to Ryan, because Ryan, you got a pretty special interview, haven't you?
Yes, I do. I'm joined by the match winner, of course, defeating Roy Felman. We had a very close game. I don't know if you know this, right? You have the best defensive record in the tournament. What separates you from a lot of the other players in just managing your nerve and keeping cool?
Before the match, I did an interview where I said, Felman, be careful to my defense, but after 5 minutes, I was down 1-0, so... but then I managed to let him score only 1 goal, and I think this is what made me win this game.
Yeah, you performed fantastically well. Of course, looking ahead until tomorrow, you've got Levy Finn. It's a tough game. He, of course, topped his group. How confident are you feeling for that game?
He will be very confident, but I'm also very confident because today I played, so I played well, and I'm not scared about him.
Yeah, you, of course, with your coach behind you, you have a good relationship with him. How important do you think having a coach behind you in those key moments are?
He is really important. He's like a 50-50 because he did a wonderful job by the starting of the year. Then I did the other 50.
Yeah, exactly. Well, massive congratulations again, and let's head back to Rachel at the desk.
Yeah, awesome stuff for Luca and Egman. Brandon, obviously we saw him last year at the World Cup. He's very much come into his own this year. Why do you think? What changes have we seen?
I think there's just a different level of belief there. You're absolutely right. We only saw him in a 2v2 element last year, didn't we? But this year, I guess his claim to fame was the Serie A. He beat Oberon and stopped Oberon from getting in the World Championships and to the eChampions League, and he, quite frankly, thrashed him in the knockout stages in Verona. So the guys were saying about passing the torch and maybe this being the year for that in certain moments. I think there's a great example there. Yes, you've got Danny Pitbull, who's the old guard who is through to tomorrow's knockouts, but Luca Noega, I mean, what a result. Congratulations to him. He's in the round of 16 tomorrow.
Yeah, let's have a look then at the round of 16. Some big names crashing out, which we didn't expect to see, but there we have it. Our round of 16 players there. PH Zinman, Taxa, Johnny Ketadilo. For me, Brandon, I can't wait for that one, but you can't look that far down. Matias Bonano, that's a massive matchup against Levy there.
Yeah, there's so many crazy matchups. As Gravison was saying, you've got a La Liga matchup. I mean, the beauty of the FC Pro Leagues, we will see some repeated matchups potentially. I mean, look, you've also got what could happen as well, Rachel, because you could have Manu Bashir against Emre Yilmaz in a quarter-final when we come back for the Champions League finals. There's so many good games, but PH, as the guys were saying, is waiting in the wings and ready to get going tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. I'd love to see that one if we had Emre and Manu Bashir. They wouldn't be friends, would they? They're playing up against each other. OK, well, we are having a final break here now. We're going to leave you to vote for your Oppo goal of the day as well. They come from Ketadilo, Fummer and Egman as well. These are your 3. You can vote for these during the break. As always, Brandon, I'll ask you why they're so special, what you'd go for.
Well, I think this was the first surprise, wasn't it? It was a 6-0 goal swing from Ketadilo, who obviously went flying through to knockouts there. A great example of using that aerial plus and sort of lofting the ball in the air. This is Fummer, who may be out the tournament, but he still could be winning himself a little award if he was to get goal of the day there. What a finish that was from Didier Drogba. And last but not least, Egman, who came through beating Umut. Just the composure there, as we were saying on the commentary desk, just the composure, the cancellation of a skill move. Let us know. I mean, what's your goal of the day?
I think you're going to go for Ketadilo, right? Everyone was going...
I'm going to go goal 3.
Are you?
I just love the composure there.
That surprised me. Keep me on my toes here, Brandon. I mean, they always do. OK, well, you guys are going to vote for that during this break. And on the other side, well, we'll pick apart the knockouts where 24 became 16. Come back and join us for our Pepsi post show. See you in a few. Welcome back then to the eChampions League Pepsi post-show. Pepsi's at the ready, boys?
Yep, got mine.
Guys.
Don't worry.
I don't have one.
Don't worry. I'm locked and loaded. I've got Pepsi's ready to go. Do you want one, Ryan?
Yeah, why not?
That's one for you, mate.
Cheers.
Grab.
Where's mine?
Oh,
you got it as well.
Yeah, I've got them all. Don't you worry, there you go, mate.
Pepsi's in his pocket.
Might be slightly warm, but
slightly.
It's fine.
Should we get on with this? Should we get on with this? Right, Oppo goal of the day. We were voting, weren't we, in the break? Drum roll. Who did it go for?
Did it go for 3?
It did. Ekman. Well done. Did you agree?
Goal of the day, for sure. 100%.
Why?
It's just the way sometimes when you skill, you gotta cancel, you gotta pass. I mean, it's just sometimes imagination comes in, and this is a goal that you cannot replicate at home.
And Egman as well, the fact that he knocked out Umut was pretty special, Ryan.
Yeah, I done the interview with him at the analysis screen. He seemed pretty chilled out. He didn't really celebrate too much. A lot of the emotion came from his coach, but yeah, it's a massive result for him.
And you as well said don't underestimate him before he went into that matchup.
Yeah, not even just because of how good he's been playing, but I don't think Umut's been at his best. We've seen Umut normally in previous years look pretty much formidable. Of course, he didn't go the whole way to lift the trophy, but this year I would say there's been chinks in his armour.
I do think we did commentate Egman in a way, because he, as Brandon mentioned in the first week, he was playing really well in his league, and now he eliminated 2022 World Champ. Now he's facing 2023 World Champ. What is happening? Narratives.
This is the biggest test, isn't it? This is the biggest test. If he goes on to do the kind of thing that we no one would ever expect, taking not one world champion down, but 2, well, we have to start talking about him, wouldn't we, in the same vein of form. OK, well, we spoke about the Oppo goal of the day. Now let's go on to FedEx top goal scorer. Do you know where this one came from?
No.
Ketadilo, 7 goals. Here we go. Here's a little look at that. Well, he took out, of course, the runner-up, Hezar from last year's eChampions League. He's been impressive, hasn't he, this
Can we
weekend?
just see? I mean, look, he goes from the 40th, I think it's the 40th minute to the 60th minute. He's gone 6-0 up in that game in a knockout matchup. Again, it was our first one of the day here at the eChampions League. I didn't expect that sort of performance from Ketadilo, but 7 goals.
Ravison, did you?
No. And Tom was telling me, I mean, Dilo is really good, and you played against him. He's really creative offensively, and the way he just does some things inside the box that you don't expect. I mean, scoring 7 goals against Hezar, and not only that, conceding 0 goals for 60 minutes. It's crazy.
Yeah, Hezar scores a lot of goals. I'll be honest, I would have expected Hezar to win the game. I thought there'd be a lot of goals, but I thought maybe it would swing the way of Hezar, but Ketadilo proved me wrong.
Does he have skilled moves as well?
Everything. Going forward offensively, I think that's his best part.
We're talking about skill moves. Should we go to ECL Showtime with Tom and Richard, because they're going to break down some brilliant skill moves for us.
Yes, we certainly are going to break some skill moves down. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to walk over here, get a little Pepsi. While we break down this ECL Showtime. Talk to me, Tom, because we've seen some fantastic goals over today. We've seen some great defending, and it's all part of the hashtag ECL Showtime. Where better else to start? Because, I mean, today has been superb, and again, I think it's been the day of Didier Drogba and also of Donnarumma, because I wanted to showcase Donnarumma in some of these clips. What a keeper.
Big moments, not just goals, big saves as well. You see it with that one there. These clutch moments, they go a long way for players.
Yeah, they really do. Player lock into the box. Again, that would have been maybe a goal of the day, if not for the big man between the sticks in Donnarumma. I think what we're seeing over the course of the eChampions League is last weekend there was unbelievable goals, there was unbelievable skill moves. Now we're getting into the small margins and we're seeing what the eChampions League is all about, top-level competition.
Yeah, you see it, small margins, as you said, with the Drogba. If Donnarumma's saving him sometimes, and you've got Drogba finishing it as well. It's good to see.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens tomorrow. I'll be back, hopefully. He'll definitely be back here, and we'll be breaking down all the best bits here at the eChampions League. That was your ECL Showtime. Back over to you, Rach.
Tom, Rich, thank you so much. Go and enjoy those Pepsis. Well, we have a special guest joining us right now, Rip Direct, because you are our PS5 Player of the Day. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations for getting through as well to tomorrow. You've got a big matchup there, Emre Yilmaz. But before we get into that, you took down an experienced player in Andoni, but you also had a bit of an experience getting here as well, didn't you? You got in really, really early this morning. Tell us about the story.
Oh yeah, so apparently I finished my work at 3 p.m. yesterday. Then I went into my car, drive to the nearest airport. It was like 4 hours straight driving, then had a flight, then took a taxi to the hotel, then had some sleep and woke up today. Had some photo shoots because I was not in the media day yesterday. So that's what happened. I had a really nice sleep because I've slept like 8 hours, so no worries about that. But the worst thing was that I didn't know if I can reach the airport on time yesterday because my flight was at 8 p.m. and I finished my work at 3 p.m. So and after that I had to drive 4 hours.
Can I ask you, what was more stressful, nearly missing your flight or playing Andoni?
Of course, nearly missing my flight.
Airport stress, different kind of stress.
Let's have a look at some of your highlights then from that Andoni matchup, because that was the matchup you had to win to get this matchup against the defending champion. Talk us through some of these moments, if you will.
Yeah,
as you can help.
I mean, I felt so relaxed going into this game. After I lost my 2-lap advantage, I knew that I'm coming back to this, so I felt like really relaxed. I knew that I'm coming back to this, so that's all. What can I say? Because I felt like I'm winning this game. I'm really here to have some fun. I'm not playing for my life anymore. I played when I played against you, Gravesen.
Yeah, back in the days.
And Rani, yeah, back in the days. I played for my life. Now I'm playing just for fun, and maybe that's the way. That's because I'm here, because I'm having here just only fun. I don't feel any stress. I don't feel the stress of winning something, of achieving something. I just want to have some fun for probably my last international competition right now, because I'm the old guy playing EAFC.
We are the old guys, not you.
Yeah, you.
You too, yeah, you see, you was about to say you.
I guess I'm older than you.
I'm
gosh,
26.
let's not get into ages.
I'm 27 this year.
Oh, you are. You're just a year.
Yeah, so I'm the old guy playing EAFC, and I'm just having some fun for the rest of my career, let's say career.
Yeah, I respect that. You, of course, have taken down some big names, Andoni today, but even last week, you didn't win the game against Nicholas, but you had a fantastic performance. You've been dominating a lot of your games, but tomorrow's a big game against Emre Yilmaz. How are you feeling for that?
Yeah, it will be a tough game. He won the eChampions League last year, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, so let's see what happens. If I'm relaxed, if he will get some stress, anything can happen. It's just 20 minutes of game. I know what I'm capable of. I can win against everybody. That's what I saw from myself against the game against Nicolas last week.
Yeah.
Because I was really dominating this game, and then after this game I thought, well, we can advance. We can maybe win this competition at all. But let's see what happens. I feel really relaxed. I'm not taking any pressure on me to win. If I go to top 8 and will come back to London next week, then it's great. If I don't, then it was a beautiful journey here, and we'll see what happens.
Well, it's been great to watch you today. If you continue having fun, then who knows what's going to happen. Go and get some sleep. I think you deserve that.
Okay.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you, Rickard. Amazing. I mean,
What a guy.
he's taking it in his stride, isn't it? But he does have a big matchup tomorrow amongst these other big matchups as well. Grav, I'll come to you first for your pick of tomorrow's lot.
For me, it's Levi against Matias Bonano. For me, that's the game to watch, but we have to keep an eye on Johnny against Dylan. Do you agree, Ryan?
Yeah, for me, Johnny, I'm just excited to see him again.
Yeah, for sure.
Brandon, we already spoke about this, but your thoughts again on these?
Yeah, I mean, look, proper Champions League matchup. PSG, Juventus tomorrow, and Kante against Danny Pitbull. I'm excited for that one. I mean, you can't take your eyes off PH in. First eChampions League, he's back tomorrow against Taxa.
Exactly. We start with 16 tomorrow. We'll have 8 at the end of the day, all looking to book those spots in the grand finals on the 29th of May. Wow, it's going to be tense tomorrow. If today was tense, tomorrow's going to get even more exciting. Come back, obviously, and join us for that one. These are just some of the players you're going to see go into battle tomorrow. And I mentioned the 29th of May, those grand finals, so you can come and watch as well. We've got a live audience. This is super exciting. At the Magazine in London, next to the O2. Tickets are on sale now. You can either scan that QR code or visit fcpro.com. These guys might take a selfie with you or give you an autograph. I don't know. I'm sure they will. You'll probably be on Brandon's TikToks as well.
Yeah, get ready for that. Yeah.
Get ready for that. OK, guys, that's it. Knockouts day 1. Tick. We get to do it all again tomorrow. Finish that drink and yours. Guys, been a pleasure.
As always.
We'll see you tomorrow. Guys at home, thank you so much for watching as well. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
First game on the way here in the eChampions League. Look at the space, he's gone! 3-3, all square again on Taxa. That's just completely flipped this game around.
Final nail in the coffin. Danny Pitbull with a diving header.
It's a perfect start for the Club Brugge man. He's on a rampage. What's happening, Deepa? Oh my God!
It is carnage at the eChampions League. Taking the space, cuts it back! Never count out Bonano.